This one goes out to you.
With content.
Boom.
Oh yeah, I watch porn. It's harder to watch porn. I played a video game. I watched a movie.
Do not shit on my struggle. Okay, there's like we talked about. Hey, I'm fine with not receiving compliments. I'm fine with being dissed. But when I bring up a struggle, and then an hour later you act like it's meaningless.
Individual apology number 1.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I shouldn't have.
It's fine. It's okay.
I didn't think about how horny you get.
Hey, what's up, guys? First episode of the year, right?
Yeah, we haven't done this since last year.
Feeling like, dude, the amount of those jokes that I heard on the very first week of the year they're mostly by me, and then even I got bored of them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sick of them, but I'm going to probably force about 10 this episode. I'm going to start the count now. I'm at 1. I haven't counted since last year. 2.
And we're fresh off the heels of our apology video.
Yeah,
and
some controversy to really light a fire under our ass. We're going to up the production value here. We're going to up...
That's it.
I don't know.
Nothing.
Yeah, just production value. Bet more lights. We're gonna have more lights. We thought about, like, while we could, switching into a kind of a mansphere podcast.
Yeah,
talking about the difference between females and bitches, that kind of thing. But we forgot, and we're not classically men. So
yeah. Well, I think that character arc is when there's a controversy and then the person doesn't apologize. That's when you go to the main.
Okay, so like if they weren't to accept our apology either way. So
he didn't accept our apology. As far as
he said, I think he's
so like water under the bridge.
Yeah,
yeah,
and that's where water belongs.
I guess so. Yeah. In the reply to our apology, I just realized that we have given no context for this. If you missed out on the end of last year, there was a guy, and
it was last year's problem.
Yeah, it was last year.
Let's leave it in last year.
There's a guy that we were ripping on a little bit, and then it turns out he had terminal cancer. And then
we were laughing at the situation of us making fun of this man, and then finding out
that he had terminal cancer.
That we're just like being kind of like evil.
Yeah,
and the situation itself became funny, but then
he didn't think so.
An old man becoming sad at it was not funny.
Yeah, that was
actually
funny.
very sad.
Yeah,
which it's like a lot of people are like, "You're just sad you got caught." Kind of in a way, it's like it's just more directly sad that he saw it, which is like, does that make us twisted? I don't know.
Yeah,
in a way.
And after that, I've sat down and I thought about it, and when and if this podcast goes under, I am scorched earthing the entire archive of podcast material because like that. Are you kidding me? Are you?
Somebody start saving them now.
Yeah, you guys better start data hoarding big time.
The Library of Alexandria going down, like,
because in
some real gold in there.
In reality, I think that's not really that bad in the grand scheme of things, of the things that we've said on this show.
No, I think just a lot of times, so when we make fun of someone, it's like they don't see it.
Yeah, like Haley Joel Osment.
Which I have already thought about making an apology video to Haley Joel Osment and just being like, well, it's hard because it's like we were genuinely like pretty like sorry about access area, just in terms of like, you don't want to be the people that made a old sick man like want to quit YouTube. Like, that's just fucking awful. That's just horrible. Yeah. Like that night I goblin gassed a little bit and just sat and looked in the mirror.
That is like, not a night you're
the Antichrist. Yeah, I for like a week was just like, what's wrong with you? Like, why? Like, why? And then, I just kind of, that's last year.
Yeah, that's last year. It's a whole new page.
It's like, And then I'm like, you know, it's like the whole point of this is to be funny. I'm like, it'd be kind of funny to do an apology to Haley Joel Osment, but I don't even know what episode. I don't even know what we talked about him. I just know that I think we threatened to kill him a couple times.
Yeah.
So then making an apology where it's just like,
there's been years of death threats, dude. We've had so many death threats.
I would assume we said something like, you want to see dead people? Look in the mirror, Haley. Or like, Haley, that's a girl's name.
It's much worse than
Sam
that.
is a name just for boys. Well, I don't remember, but I assume it's things of that nature. Like,
yeah,
you know, listen, would that I had a sixth sense, a time sense to go back to not have said those things. But Haley actually is a pretty cool dude. And I think he'd get it.
You think?
Did he? I don't even remember. Did he even deny coming on the podcast, or did he just not reply to our email?
I think we asked him and he didn't. I don't think he even replied. I think he just ghosted us. He ghosted us, and then we ripped on our part for like an hour. I mean, almost, dude, honestly, with just the way that sometimes guests are, like, it's such a crapshoot. It's either like your best episode you have or like the worst dog shit in the world. I almost prefer when we ask someone to come on, they ghost us, and then we get to tear into them for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's so immature. Content. It makes me feel like a child, but it's also like kind of a guilty pleasure in a way, you know? Because if I was them, I would do the same thing. I wouldn't come on this fucking show.
I ignore 1,000 emails a month, you know, and then it's like, maybe I'm cultivating a bunch of people that want to kill me. Probably not. I'm not as,
you
know, it's like, Haley Joel Osment, it feels real bad because I love Secondhand Lion. And
wait, that's what you think of when you think of Haley Joel Osment?
He's the kid in that, right?
He's the kid. Yeah, it's him, Michael Caine.
That movie rocks.
And damn, who's the third guy? He's like the best actor out of all of them. I forget his name.
Other old guy.
Other old man.
Secondhand Lions. It's that can't be right. Why don't they have him listed on here? All these people are young in the cast. It's Did
they remake Secondhand Lions?
Yeah, they made it with a girl this time. They're really not giving Robert Duvall.
Yeah, Robert Duvall. Yeah.
They put him like 50 down in the cast, which is insane because he really is a great actor.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And it's like Haley Joel, you know, he was really important in that movie. And he was, you know, he had a good cameo in The Boys and stuff. And it's like, I don't want him to think I want to kill him.
No.
He was great in Forrest Gump. That's what when I think of Haley Joel Osment, I think Forrest Gump, Secondhand Lions.
I forgot he was in Forrest Gump. Yeah.
It's very brief.
Yeah, he is.
Also, I think of, if I did see him, I probably would kick his ass because, well, one, he's like 4 feet tall, and two, that movie AI, Artificial Intelligence, that I'm pretty sure we did talk about in length. I had to write a like 14-page paper on in college.
Yeah.
Not cool. Not cool, Haley.
Did you like that movie or no?
I mean, I did, but it's like when you have to do homework on a movie, you're not really there to enjoy it.
Like it, yeah.
And it's like, it's a good movie, but my brain can't comprehend 14 pages of material about it. I only got through 7.
Yeah.
So
that movie was, if we've talked about it at length, I know I've brought this up, but that was Stanley Kubrick's like final, that was supposed to be his final movie, like his passion project. And then he died. And so Spielberg took over and Spielberged it. And I just wonder, would it have been a good movie if Kubrick had taken it over? But then again, I feel like
he would have cast Haley Joel.
No, I don't think
he would have been better.
I don't think he would have.
Probably would have been better because maybe the main actor would have some fucking chops.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be on his little pork chops, little fat fucking kid. Stupid asshole.
Dude, this is supposed to be a new year. We're supposed to be better people.
Sorry. Hey,
we're supposed to.
I do.
You're already attacking people. We're supposed to have a clean image for 2025. We're supposed to get some corpo money. Dude, we're going to be getting sponsors this year.
Yeah. This year, I think we're going to get a whole new variety of sponsorships like Factor. Probably some ball shaving company. VPNs.
You know what, dude? Did you hear that they banned porn in Florida? Like all the porn sites are.
That happened in Indiana, dude. Trust me, I'm figuring out the use of VPNs currently.
Yeah. So these you guys should be seeing a lot of Surfshark VPN sponsors, NordVPN.
I'm using BetterNet daily.
Yeah, because I don't want to pay for that shit, but I have,
and I don't want to make an account.
I've done a NordVPN sponsor, and they give you a free account.
Okay, that's cool.
But I wonder if it's like the free one that they give you, if they can see what I've been using it to look at.
They can see on any of them, I'm
I
sure.
don't care.
I'm also like pretty worried because my roommates did like some advanced internet, like trying to make it. It's actually really nice. They're trying to like make it better for like streaming for me and stuff. And our friend's super into like, listen, I don't even have really the most basic idea of what they've done, but I know they're like running a server that then the Spectrum goes through. I mean, it still goes out every goddamn stream, but it was a really good effort. And I'm pretty sure my roommates now can monitor everything that we look at on the internet. And
they can do that anyway.
That VR. I know, but it's like now it's like at the tip of their fingers. Like they can literally. I asked them when they first said, I'm like, can you? And they're like, well, we don't see like the individual stuff, but we see the websites. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
because I just started charging that VR headset last month, and I don't really like the. Every time I put it on, I'm like, even if they're not in the room with me, it's like,
yeah,
what are they just checking? Feels like they aren't.
Yeah,
I would hope, but they can probably hear me right now through the door, so I probably just have also revealed what I'm.
I hadn't thought about that, living in a situation where someone's like watching to see what websites you're looking at.
It's different when it's like some guy at the internet company that I will never meet versus like a guy I gotta walk by when I get my coffee.
Yeah, that's a lot different.
It's like you can see it in his eyes when I watch something weird.
Yeah,
like the interaction's different. When I'm watching Roommate 3-Bang, VR experience custom AI models, it's like I'm feeling tension.
Have you seen like what some of the earliest trending Google searches were, and they were. People didn't realize how like search engines work, so they would just Google like my neighbor naked. Like they didn't realize that. Yeah. So he just goes on there, and you're just like my roommate bent over ass shot.
Roommate oiled up.
Yeah.
Roommate oiled up, tickling me. Okay. Not really. And then I'm like, no. And then I Google, no. My roommate happy.
Whatever you do, don't show me. Do not show me my roommate.
I'm trying to program the algorithm. Do not show me this shit. I'm not interested in it.
You put quotations around the thing that you do want to see. It's guaranteed going to pull that up.
And I quote, do not show me. 8-inch thick. 10-pack.
Yeah. I tweeted about that porn ban, and there was like a bunch of like the alpha no fap guys that are like, I'm glad it's banned. That shit's bad for you. You need to go. There's one guy.
We can't offend these guys. We might need them.
We might, yeah.
After a public apology number 2, we might need them.
Yeah. Okay, so while I respect your journey to go no fap and everything.
Retain your semen.
Yes. And there was one guy that was like, you need to go touch grass, talk to women in real life. Dude, I'm married. Okay, like I have a wife. Okay.
You have children.
Yeah.
You've had sex at least twice.
Yes.
We know
but
that.
Some of us need more than twice. Okay. Some of us need sex.
We need more than once a year on our anniversary.
On our birthday? Yeah. Well, she says her anniversary is her.
5 seconds. It's like, it's over so quick, and you got to wait a whole year for it.
Yeah. So internet porn, what rational person doesn't look at internet porn, And
probably just people like it's just like a whole world of people that are better than us. I don't know, maybe.
Abby looks at internet porn. She's like, "What the fuck? The porn's out." Like everybody looks at porn, I think, right? But these guys are so happy about it because they're like, now people have to live how I live.
Oh, that was good.
Does it concern you not at all that the internet is getting more and more strangled? I want the Wild West of the internet. Again,
also, it's like,
not going to happen.
Even if
but
we've talked about this, if it's like porn goes away, people are going to, you could jerk off to magazine if you need to again. I know you said you'd probably struggle now, but it's like I've got some vintage Playboys, so it's like if worse came to worse,
you could.
I might be able to come to
you
them.
could go off grid, and
I could go off grid and try. I mean, I don't know. I could try. I can't make any promises, but it feels like it wouldn't take a lot.
Yeah.
So, also in Indiana, I guess it's not banned, but you have to prove you're over 18.
It's not banned here. They want me to do that too. There is no chance in hell I'm not British. I'm not going to give my license for my porn.
It's like, I'm okay with my roommates being able to monitor exactly what I'm watching, but I don't want to you make an account. It's like,
I'm not giving my driver's license
am I
to
some
Pornhub.
sort of pervert?
Yeah, it's not happening.
Like, I don't want a Pornhub account.
Yeah.
What, I'm going to start leaving comments?
Yeah. I feel like,
yes. Like, what?
You were talking earlier about buying VIP for a Rust server, and you had friends that were like, it's the principle. It's the principle for me for porn. Like, I just want to like randomly view it. When I've submitted my ID to get an account, I've admitted that I've had a problem. It's the principle of the thing. I'm not doing it.
I don't want to I don't want to look in the mirror after that.
No, absolutely. No way. Yeah.
This is supposed to be a fresh start year. I don't want to,
I'm not starting 2025 with going, can I have one porn, please, sir? Here's my ID.
I'm not going to lie. On one website, I might have got horny enough that I did try to scan my passport, and it didn't even work. And then it's like, that's actually more embarrassing than it working.
You went rummaging with a boner for your passport. Get it, submit it, and they go, nah.
It was on the VR headset, and I'm like, I'm very intrigued by this video.
That is so sad.
Very classy. And then I upload my passport, and they're like, thanks. I'm like, okay.
The moment immediately after, I conjured up in my mind, headset on, passport in hand, you still have a boner and a frown on your face because they did not accept it.
I didn't even jerk off that day. It took the romance out of it when I had to pull out my passport and take my headset off. And then it was like, we're having problems with our servers right now. I'm like, don't make me come back. Don't make me do this tomorrow. Like, this was my lowest point.
That's the masturbation equivalent of putting on a condom. Like, it kills the mood. Like, hold on, let me go get it and everything. Yeah, let me pull out my fucking ID. That sucks.
It's okay, I guess. It's fine. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It was last year.
Yeah, that's
I even tried to upload my age verification to a porn site since last year.
I think the Florida one was like right at the beginning of the new year. I think it was like 2025. We're going pornless.
Mine's been like 2 months of like, you get on it and it's like, did you know local officials are trying to ban this thing? So like Pornhub's like putting their foot down and being like, no, we want porn for everyone. I'm like, that's so nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. I did see some outrage at, like the knee jerk argument to me going like, what the fuck? Like now I got to submit my goddamn porn license in order to look at porn. Somebody was like, it's so children don't look at porn. Like, don't you think of the children? Fucker, if you're giving children unfettered access to the internet, that's on you, big dog. That is 100% on you. You should like block them from going to certain sites, I would think. But
I don't have I guess I've never thought about
who am I? I just don't want a tyrannical government telling me what porn I can and can't look at. Okay, if you're happy living under the yoke of Mr. Anti-Porn, then you live under it. That's fine with me. I'll stick with our NordVPN sponsorship, which I'll be contacting later today.
In a Factor meal where I slice open the mashed potatoes and put my dick in it while I'm using my VPN and ball shaver. This video actually might end up being sponsored. I should be careful. That's not what I do with a Factor meal. What I do is
I enjoy it.
Ad if we have to record one. What I do is 50 meals fresh every week. I shouldn't be. I just want to be way too honest about when I record those, but you got to keep some of the mystery of the man behind the curtain. I really enjoy recording those, and I really enjoy eating them.
Yum,
Good.
yum.
I mean, it's a man that eats cereal like 2 meals a day. Like,
Yeah,
it's really not that big. It is kind of an improvement.
that's insane. Because to me, it's not.
Well, you have a wife that makes you 3 meals a day, so
Yeah.
maybe in the new year I should become a real ass adult and just fucking, I don't know. Someone for Christmas got me a paring knife, and I was like, cool, badass, like hunting knife, and they're like, no, it's for like chopping vegetables and stuff. And I was like,
Oh, people do that.
oh man, like what? I'm just like cut stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna hunt with it either, but the little kid in me was like, cool, like knife, and now it's like knife with a purpose.
That's not
For
for
the
being
kitchen.
cool. Yeah. Does
Yeah,
it have
it's
a
like,
sheath?
This isn't yeah.
Yeah. You could be like one of those old grandpas that carries around an apple and then they pull out their paring knife and they eat off the blade.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty secondhand lines.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like American old guy or just average like Eastern European, I think, does that. They just walk around and
They do it with like a potato. Or
yeah,
something.
they eat like raw potatoes and kielbasa. Cold kielbasa with a knife.
I do like apples. They give me a little bit of heartburn, but I love them.
Yeah.
I went to a really fancy restaurant the other day and was told I can't ask if they have a side of fruit.
What?
By the person I was eating with, they're
Oh.
like, that would be so embarrassing.
I thought the
I
waiter.
get a side of
I thought
fruit.
you
Yeah,
asked the
was
waiter,
like,
and the waiter was like, "You can't, you can't ask that. Stop."
I was terrified. Okay, I ate a fanciest place I've ever been to in Indianapolis. It was actually it was a full circle moment. If anyone lives in Indianapolis, I don't know, maybe you've heard about it. It's called the Eagle's Nest, and it's like a restaurant. Feels straight out of the like late 80s or 90s or something. I don't know. It feels like something that won't be there in 10 years.
Yeah.
But it's a restaurant on top of a hotel that slowly spins so that you can see the whole city,
Oh.
which it's like not a very impressive city to see all of,
Yeah.
but still very cool, like novel
Experience.
you spin.
Yeah.
And I think I've told this story before, but it was like kid me coming full circle. Cause when I was a child, we had like a history day competition where we like got to come down to Indianapolis, and we stayed in that hotel, and there's a button on the elevator that says Eagle's Nest. And it was like 5 kids. We were all in like junior high, and an old man in the elevator. And we're like, what's that button? You know, we should press that button. You pop out. There's a lady at a desk to keep back, poor people and children.
Yeah.
She's like, you don't have a reservation. And we're like, oh. And then the old guy turns out to be the manager. And he says, let him look around. One of the coolest things of my childhood were really stuck with me. We're like, we walked around it, and I was like, this must be where kings eat. This must be like where the elite eat. Then I finally ate there as an adult. I would say grossly overpriced, but you are also paying for the experience, I guess, of
You're paying for
slowly-
the maintenance on a giant spinning floor of a building
Yes.
more than anything.
Can't imagine the maintenance on that.
Yeah.
And it was cool. I got a steak, felt very adult, couldn't finish it, felt like a kid again.
Yeah.
And they're doing this weird thing. Maybe I'll post a picture in here. The menus are backlit, and it's a very dimly lit restaurant with like jazz playing. And when you open your menu, it fully blinds you. It's like an iPad, and it's, I guess it's like I've never seen a place do that. Maybe it's another little novelty thing about eating here. You have like a backlit menu, really jarring. And there's like 4 things on the menu, so it's not even.
Wait, like a fully backlit, like
You
even the
open it up
space-
and the light
background
panels. Yes.
Okay. Jesus.
The light panels shine on you, and it's just a thin paper menu over it.
Oh.
Kind of cool. Also, I had a calico critter in my pocket. I don't know why it was in there, but I had a calico critter. I put it on the table. Thought, this is a fun little thing. Waitress walks over. She's like, "What the hell is that? What is?" She thought the people left it before, and then I, as an adult eating at a fancy restaurant, had to be like, "That's actually my calico critter." And she was like, "What's its name?" I'm like, "Don't make me talk about it like more."
Calico crit. I'm having to look up what this is. Because I've never seen one of these.
They're like little tiny.
Yeah.
It was like a little cat
Okay,
in
not
a
the
dress.
best thing to bring with you if you're trying to appear adult at a restaurant. Yeah.
Well, I was clearly out of my zone.
Yeah.
And the lady like touched it, and I wanted to be like,
Don't touch my calico critter. Do you have a fruit cup?
yeah. Do you have macaroni and cheese and fruit cup? Please don't touch
What do you
that.
mean you don't have a hot dog? Okay, bring me a
She
steak.
was like, this is so cute. Like, what's its name? I'm like, it doesn't have a name, okay? It's just a thing I have that I bring in my pocket. Don't ask any more about it. And she kept bringing it up every time she'd come back. She's like, I just think this is so cute to have. I'm like, God damn it. Do you see I'm on a fancy date right now? Like, get the fuck out of here. And I got my iPad menu, my no fruit cup, my calico critter for comfort.
Yeah, this menu have games
Felt
on
like
it.
Yeah. It's not touchscreen. I did think it would be touchscreen at first. It wasn't. A little disappointing. But it did feel like an awesome, like, wow, I was a kid once coming in here, never dreaming of eating here, and now I'm spending way too much money.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Got to rotate, got to see the stadium. Beautiful snow landscape everywhere around me.
Is it snowing up there?
It's it was monstrous. Yeah, it was I mean, I think it was like I don't know, 9 inches or something.
Jesus Christ.
It's not like crazy, but Indianapolis has also just announced that they're no longer clearing residential roads. It's like, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. And then their excuse is like, our machines that clear the roads actually can compact the snow down to make more ice. You can't drive on my road right now. Like, you need a big ass truck to make it just down our street. And they're just
So what? Do you just have
not
to
gonna
like
do anything?
talk to your neighbors and hire a snow plower or something?
One of our neighbors has a snowplow, and he's not being a hero.
Yeah.
He could be the hero of the road.
I could
He
see.
hasn't even cleared a path for himself. Like, I'm like, what do you do? Why do you own this?
I think it's because like if he clears a path for himself, all of his neighbors will know he has it, and he's probably like, I don't want to be
That's true.
obligated
been-
at that point.
I think he honestly like put it in his garage.
If I was him,
He
I
had
would
it out, like, a month
deassemble it.
ago.
I would fucking blow it up in the backyard. I would not let anybody know I had that.
Dude, he could literally old women could be bringing him baked pies.
Not worth it. I don't
Lasagnas.
think it's. I don't even live in the snow. It's not worth it.
How hard is it to just drive your goddamn truck with your snowplow down there? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's hard.
Yeah.
But it is. It's quite beautiful out, but it's
It was supposed to get cold enough to
Snow?
freeze last night, and so this is the Florida equivalent of seeing snow. We put out a sprinkler, and then the sprinkler freezes at night because it only gets cold enough to freeze at night, like a couple times a year. And
there's ice.
and it makes like little icicles off the trees and stuff. And last night, this is as cold as it's gotten this year, and it was supposed to be like 29 degrees last night. And so we put up the sprinkler, and then this morning it didn't get that cold. And so it turns out I just ran the sprinkler for like 8 hours overnight, and we just had a really, really wet yard that was really cold, no ice. And the kids were like,
good effort.
they woke up and they're like, it's finally, we got ice, we got snow. They think it's snow, and they run out there, just wet yard, not even a fucking single icicle.
I was on the phone with you last week, and I heard one of your kids be like, "Is that snow?" And you're like, "That's ash from the fireplace." Those kids are deprived of like a winter wonderland so hard.
Okay, so we've had any of you guys, any of you truckers out there that that have kids and know that
Sitting in
when
the back
Christmas
cab of your
comes, because of the holidays, they usually push back the days that you get your trash picked up. And then compounded that in conjunction with like the amount of fucking boxes and shit and wrapping paper from Christmas, you end up having way too much garbage in the trash can. And so you're just like overloaded with cardboard and stuff. So yeah, I've been burning a lot of paper at night, just, you know, because then I feel like I feel like a man out there with a fire on the back porch, but I'm just burning like paper and garbage and shit. And yeah, the paper.
Yeah, it's black smoke billowing out.
Yeah,
Some
I look like a
plastic,
whaler.
Styrofoam.
Like I got just a big plume of black smoke that goes up. Because I'm burning anything, dude. The decusant packages and stuff that come in plastic. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Oh, and I've been burning a lot of paper. the paper then goes up the chimney and ash rains down on the back porch. And the kids are like, it's snowing! It's snowing! I'm like, dude, you're out here with a short sleeve shirt on. Do you really think it's fucking snowing? You're insane.
Stupid kid. You've never seen real snow.
Yeah.
I had an awesome moment the other day where I slipped on ice. Real cool. In front of my girlfriend. Made me look like a fucking idiot.
More than bringing a calico critter to a nice...
That was a good move.
That
was a good move. Because we love that calico critter.
Give me a fruit cup. I want a fruit cup, please.
No, well, she stopped me from ordering a fruit cup. I didn't see it on the menu, but I thought, I'm sure they could throw one together. No, they could. It's good. You know, I love my fruit. And I was like, watch out for that ice. It's real slippery. Boom. I go down, hit my head. I'm like, I didn't hit my head. 20 minutes later, I'm just like, oh, can't even think straight. My back of my head's got like a goose egg on it. I'm like, really wasn't that bad. Stayed up for an extra 5 hours that night just to make sure.
Yeah,
just to make sure I
definitely got a concussion. Yeah,
threw up a little bit of blood.
You should have just repeatedly asked her like every 5 minutes, just be like, did I fall or something? The back of my head.
The president.
Yeah, my back of my head hurts real bad.
Well, I didn't think I hit my head, and then I felt it and it was like wet. I'm like, okay, I might have. Well,
yeah, I probably cracked it pretty good.
Signs point to. And then I went over there yesterday and cleared it out like a man. I went back with a snow shovel. Turns out it was a gravel shovel. Works a little, it's a little short for a snow shovel, but I just kind of became like a real hero man because I was out there breaking up ice, shoveling snow off her sidewalk. I've never been more sore in my life than I am today. I didn't know my butt could get so sore from shoveling.
Yeah, from shoveling, yeah.
I think I've been pretty stagnant lately. Lately. Yeah. I've been a stagnant lady, not a Freudian slip. Lately. And I think in the new year, I'm going to really get moving again.
Dude, I think it's gotten to the point where I fucking have to because...
Yeah, I'm getting into the fear of that.
Yeah, I'm like, my body is just L-shaped now. I have a hard time standing up straight because I'm used to just being seated at all times. I have like poor hip mobility and stuff. And I have the weights are right there. I can almost see them from my office. Like, I have a full gym setup that we meticulously put together. I never use it. And Abby is getting to the point where she can put up a fight. Okay, I'm getting kind of concerned. Yeah, she's starting to be able to deadlift. She's like, how much do you weigh? You need to lose some weight because she's getting close to being able to drag my corpse out the back door and put it into a grave. That's what she's training for.
That's good.
Yeah, so it's
once you lose that and she starts making more money than you, your purpose is
it's
gone.
Over.
You're dead.
It's over. Yeah.
The poison in the food's coming.
Yeah.
That's why you need to be eating only factor meals. No poison. Yeah. No poison in your factor meals.
It's a direct downgrade, but not poisoned. Guaranteed not poisoned.
Yeah.
I've heard that's a marketing pitch from them. They're like, you need to push this in the script.
Keep pushing it.
No poison in here. Guaranteed.
There's a little bit of worry last year, but this year we're assuring people no poison in them.
Yeah. No.
It is not a mind control device. It is a regular food for people.
Oh.
What?
I'm cycling through but I had like a Google Keep thing of stuff to talk about.
All I
have, I'm looking right now, all I have is Arma Reforger because that's all I've been playing.
Well, we've hit the last 2-month cycle of porn, how out of shape we are. Yep. Might as well get into a video game no one cares about. So, well, our format is really sticking right now, and I think people, it's awesome, and the people are loving it. So let's hear about Arma Reforger.
I was actually going to advocate against going and playing it. Actually, was what I was going to say. But we were talking earlier before the episode started, so audience isn't gonna get it. But you talked about you playing Rust, and you were talking about sitting in those fucking queues. Yeah, the amount of fucking queue time on these Arma servers is so disheartening. Like, Arma Reforger is it's like one of those. Obviously, from the name, it's like the nerdiest name ever, and it's one of those like milsim old guy games. And like imagine Battlefield, but
something like Frankie on PC would just be
he would love it.
Up.
Yeah. Especially now that he's older. He's probably because like Battlefield, you just go and fight the points. There's also like logistics, supply lines and stuff that you have to do. And the older guys love that shit. They're like, "Oh, I'm bringing supplies down to the fob because I can't fucking aim anymore." But
I hate that shit. But yeah, I get.
Put me in a truck with some supplies, and I'll feel like I'm doing something. And there's just a lot of that. But that fucking guy, Clean, he is apparently the founder of the team that made these servers that are really popular on Arma Reforger, which is basically the Ukraine war. It's NATO versus Russia, and you're fighting in Chernarus. And it's basically, war in Ukraine. And every server that they've made is constantly at 128 out of 128 people. And then there's a maximum 50-person queue, and the fucking queues are always maxed out. And so you just have to sit there and wait for there to be room in the line so that I can sit there like an asshole until I get down into the so it's been brutal, but I'll get up in the morning and around lunchtime I'll start trying to load into an Arma Reforger server, and then after about maybe an hour and a half I'll get into the actual game. And what do I do for a living? I play video games. I should be able to sling a little bit of that weight, a little bit of the name, maybe some money to get into a whitelist or something like that. And I know the guy. I've been to the guy's house that runs the servers.
I've smoked weed with that guy. I demand instant.
And so I talked to him. He was like, no can do, dude. I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Come on. I don't want to sit in this fucking line.
We've got a new enemy to talk about for a while
new
here.
person on the chopping block.
Stupid.
He actually has like weapons and stuff that I'm scared of him.
And he's like physically powerful.
Yeah.
Even if we were in some sort of dark age, he would best us. But,
he was like, there is no like whitelist. He's like, Bohemia doesn't let us have a whitelist. I was like, oh yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Boy Scout playing by the rules.
Yeah.
I would be slipping in a whitelist. Well, I guess maybe
if I give it to you,
then I have to give it to all my friends. Yeah.
And that's what acquaintances.
That's the point. Yeah. But then again, I think on the DayZ server I made, I didn't have whitelist on it either. But I think it's because we couldn't figure out how to do it. Whereas it looks
I'm sure they're more capable.
Yeah, his servers are very well put together and balanced and everything, and they're they're not like the hodgepodge whatever bullshit we have going on.
That's actually
where they're constantly crashing and broken half the time. But on the off chance you do get in, it's a lot of fun, and it's cross-platform. I didn't realize you could play Arma Reforger on Xbox. And I love it when Xbox people get in there because they absolutely fucking suck. And it's not even close to being on PC. And so it's like those are like the one group of people I can destroy on that game. Everybody else just,
it makes you feel better.
It makes you feel way big. Yeah.
Most of the time, I think if you wanted to feel big, you'd look in the mirror. But also killing console. I'm sorry, dude. I don't know why I say the things I do. It's like it's 2025, and I need to grow the fuck up. Why don't I try complimenting you? Maybe you'd react better to it.
No.
Well, what if I said, if you want to feel big, look in your pants? Okay, why can't I just say something like that?
No.
I remember Arma 2. I think it was probably Arma 2. Like when I first got a laptop, that was probably like the most exciting game in the world in terms of like it was free on Steam. I had like no Steam credit, didn't have like a debit card or anything. And like Frankie on PC was playing that shit all the time and making it look like the coolest game ever. And then I loaded it on like the shittiest laptop ever and could probably run like 15 feet before, it would just crash. But it was like the idea of it.
Yeah.
I've always loved the idea of the Arma games. Never gotten into one of them. I've just never.
There's there's a lot that can go wrong with Arma and make it a really bad experience. But that, like playing Operation Arrowhead, like Arma 2, the DLC, and like,
yeah,
I think that was the first game where I stood up, like I climbed to the top of like a radio tower or something, and I just realized like you can see like miles away, and that stuff's rendered. Like it is,
you can go
yeah,
there.
you can go there, and that was definitely unique. But yeah, watching Frankie's videos and then going and playing, and then you're like, dude, what is, like, he has tanks running over his house and like planes are swooping in, and then people are like, his videos are scripted. It was like a huge controversy. I'm like, yeah, go play fucking DayZ for 4 minutes and you can tell those videos are scripted. What are you, stupid?
Kid brain, I was like, I'm going to have just as much fun playing with no other people and having zero idea how to play as these guys that are like highly edited YouTube videos with like specific plot lines.
Yeah.
And then, I was like let down, but still like just seeing like the fun you can make for yourself in those kinds of games. I mean, it was like Rust, like early on, it's like you watch all these YouTubers and it's like, look how much fun they're having. And then you play it and you're like, this game fucking sucks. But I get it.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Yeah.
And like
there is a lot of like making your own fun almost in every game. You can be like a little just sour bitch and be playing the same thing somebody else is playing and not have a good time. Yeah.
It's about what's in here.
Yeah. And in here. Yeah. For the audio listeners, we're pointing at our asshole.
Yeah. And what's in there is dank and disgusting. This is like also not a revolutionary idea, but playing those games with your friends, wow, it makes it a lot more fun. Oh, yeah. I've been playing Rust with like my IRL friends who they've like, some of them have played it like a couple 100 hours, some of them like 20 hours. And just playing with people where it's like, we're all pretty stupid and bad at the game.
Makes all the difference.
So much more. Yeah. Like the last couple of times where I try to play where it's like, I'll hop in with like Devin's team and it's like, they have everything in the game.
No more novel experiences for them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all old. Yeah. So I'm going to shit on Devin a little bit here. He's too good and he knows too much. Yeah. Same with like Z-Chum and Omid. It's like they know exactly. Well, that's not even. Every time I play with Omid, the problem is he's a real gambling addict. So he'll take all of our scrap and go gamble like the entire time. And it's like, you can't tell a gambling addict to, hey, maybe we should save that, because he's one big win away every time from changing our lives.
And don't you hate it when the gamble works out for him too? Because then it's like he's not going to fucking learn his lesson.
Yeah, and then it's like, what, now I got to pat him on the back? Did a good gamble?
Congrats, your addiction got us some extra scrap.
Yeah. You got lucky, okay? And I'm sure I'm going to enjoy the fruits of your labor, but I'm still pissed because it took you like 5 hours. It's like, I mean, this is probably like 2 years ago, but I remember every time I play with him, I'd be like, there's guys outside the base, like, help. And he's like, I'm spinning the wheel. Yeah. And now they've added poker and blackjack. I bet it's like 20 times worse.
I didn't realize the advancements that game had
really
made because I hadn't played since like 2017 or something.
Yeah.
And then I hop back on there, and the safe zones, they have like little gambling spots, and
there's like quests from NPCs,
fishing villages and stuff. That game is honestly, legitimately, on paper, one of the best games ever made. It's
impressive. Like they've just been updating it for 11 years or something.
Yeah.
Like it is quite impressive.
But the problem is you get on there, and then there's the people that they've done all that shit. And so the only excitement they get is by sitting outside your door with a fucking double barrel shotgun pointed in there, waiting for you to come out.
It's literally, this happens with like, probably once every couple months, I'll get into a game where it's like, I dream about it. I played it so much. That's when I always know, like, whew, slow down a little.
Yeah.
Because it's only happened like 10 times in my life. But Rust, I streamed it once. Horrible stream. Nothing happened. No fun. And then I played off stream. Best play of my life. I got a Russian way up in his god tower. He was standing on twig. Boom. Headshot him with a compound bow. Break the twig under him. Get his bolty and AK. Boom. Bolty him up in the window. Ladder up. Grab his loot. Not a soul saw it. It's like they won't even believe
that
me.
One's for
when
you.
I stream.
That one's just for you.
When I stream and talk about that, they'll be like,
nah,
No, you didn't. You fucking
Yeah.
like we saw you last week when it's like I couldn't hit a fucking, a guy standing still with a bow. And then it's like my friends and I all week we've been like seriously playing the fuck out of it. And it's a little disheartening. Like on any big server, every base looks the exact same. There's such a meta of like, this is the best base. It's like they all look the same. Like what we care about is more like making a cozy home.
Yeah.
Decorating it well, painting pictures in it. And then it's like you get rated in about 10 seconds if your base looks like that.
My signature was the 1x1, 3 stories tall. Just like a single, you just have a door you walk in and then a ladder hatch that goes up, and then you have windows up there and you can look around. And I would always decorate them. Yeah. And remember when we used to talk to that Dean Central guy? Remember him?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He used to have
He was like at the time, right? Like an incredible base builder.
Yeah, that's what he was known for. Yeah, he was like a base
like
building
one of the earliest.
And then he had this series that he was doing where he would rate people's builds if they send them in. And I sent in like a build, like a tour of my house, and it was just a 1x1, 3 stories tall. And I was showing it off, and he's like, "This is the worst fucking base I've ever seen." He ranked it so low. He's like, "They take out that one door, and then the whole thing's gone, dude. It's over for you." And you know what? That's exactly what happened. Yeah, it was gone in like an instant. Yeah.
There's like a weird middle ground though. It's like if your base is that bad and that stupid, big groups won't raid. You'll get raided by like little guys.
Yeah. No, that's actually a point. That was a point I made.
There's a strategy, to like
a 2x2.
If you make your base too big, you draw a lot of attention.
A 2x2 will get raided. A 2x2 will always get raided. There's enough room in there for you to have stuff. There's enough room in there for you to have furnaces and shit. But a
1x3,
a 1x1x3, there's not enough room for anything, and so you'll get people that are like opportunists that are like, you know what, fuck it, I'll waste some shit on this and try to get in.
Yeah.
And it's usually not even worth it. They're there. The people that you get to raid you in a 1x1x3, they're just sadistic. Okay, they're just people that want to see you squirm. They're not there for the resources.
They're like poor in the game, and they
just want.
They're like, this is all I could raid.
Yeah, but they're not going to get like the sulfur back. There's no return. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so they're there to just watch me scream in horror as it's happening, which I can respect that more than someone breaking into my 2x2 and taking all my sulfur. But then there's the other side of it where Dean was so good at base building. Me and Brian would just like piggyback onto him because we didn't want to build our own place. But his places were so convoluted. And he was just like, extra guns there in the chest. And you have to like duck under stuff, crouch jump up onto this, and then like shimmy up a ladder, jump off of the ladder. And it's because it's completely unrateable. He's like, this is an 86 rocket base. And I'm like,
it's the smartest but most annoying because
I'm like, what happened to just having a door and then another door?
I don't want to take 15 minutes to get to the roof.
Yeah.
I want like a big open room where it's like I can comfortably walk with 3 other people around this room.
Yeah.
And I bought I'm pretty stupid, but I bought like a bunch of the DLCs and skins and stuff. And I bought like gun racks. That's awesome because you can just have all your guns on the wall.
Yeah.
And you just pick them up straight off of it.
Horrible if someone breaks in because then they
that happened. Yeah. It's like I had it right there where there's gun racks on every floor and they're like, okay, thanks for the fucking
free guns,
weapon of war. And I don't have to do shit for it. But it doesn't really matter. Like people are so goddamn good at that game. Like I don't really, the best thing I can do is have fun on it.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be the guy that's like, I'm in game. I'm just there to have some fun, maybe make a play or two, and have people say, you're not as bad as I thought you were.
I played that game with Bizzle, and he opened my eyes to a completely different way of playing it. And he would just, he would spawn, run to like a monument, and then just put a bag down right outside of it in a bush. And he would just name it like Dome Bag 1. And then he would run around, gather some shit. If he got enough to make another bag, he would just place it down, Dome Bag 2. And by the time he gets killed and then can't respawn in his bags, he just goes to a different monument, And so he just goes and socializes, talks to people, does whatever. If he gets killed, he has 15 bags across the entire map to respawn at, where he's just like
very liquid, but yeah, he's bag rich.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, and he doesn't really have much going on, but he's, I guess.
God, he's an incredible painter in those games, though.
Yeah.
He could paint the hell out of a picture.
Yeah. I think you can gift photos now. You should get back on there and do that.
It's fun. I want one of the cameras. That's really what I want.
Oh, the Polaroid? The Polaroid ones? Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have to buy that? Like, is it DLC or some shit?
With my Rust server, we just put a shitload of them into a vending machine and made it 5 scrap to get one. So we hacked them in.
Generous.
I don't know if you can actually make them or not.
Best thing currently that I can do is you can make wanted posters, and you type in their username and it puts a picture of them, and then you can kill people, and they added a skinning knife, and you can
flay them,
skin their head off, and mount it on the wall. Oh. So like people around their bases will have like the heads of their enemies all over it, which I find. So like I'm constantly hunting trophies.
Yeah, you should make the dread fort.
Skin and heads everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes. Good idea. Oh, man. Dreadfort, of course. The most beautiful place to live, the coziest home I could craft.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like you said, like Bizzle, you go these places and socialize. If I didn't have VoIP in 2016, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't know any of you people. I wouldn't have met Aqua. I wouldn't have met you. My VoIP hasn't worked in Rust for like a year. And it's like the soul of the game is gone in a way. Where it's like people are already like, they'll just shoot you no matter what. Like it's like that on like the big servers.
Yeah.
But it's like, all I can do is emote. I can go.
Dude, that entire, those games are meant for VoIP. Like if you don't have it, you're not even playing half the game really.
I know. I can't even joke around with people. I told you I have to keep telling my friend like, hey, tell him I said this. You know how lame that is?
Yeah, that's pretty lame.
If I run into a guy solo, I'm just like, and the alt chat is flying with just constant streams of racism. And then I'll be in the chat like, hey, I'm the guy in front of you. Hi. And people will be like, shut the fuck up, N-word. I'm like, God damn it. Like, I'm just trying to, like, there's no good way to just talk to a guy. When you can't.
Well, there is a way. It's called VoIP.
Yeah. There's no good way built into the game. There's nothing. My tech support, I texted him about it earlier because before the podcast, I tried to fix it for like an hour. And he sent me a list of
things you've already done.
Yeah. And something else. And then he just said, I can show you if you need. I'm going to have to call that guy later.
Yeah.
He's going to save the day.
Yeah.
But like, it is, as much as I hate the game, this is the first time in years that I've like actually enjoyed it again. Where it's like, I'll hop on and do an event every once in a while. But next month they're adding like, I don't know if you've seen, they're adding medieval stuff.
Ooh.
Like they're adding shields. They're like improving the sword play.
Yeah.
They're making catapults and like
I have
battering
seen that.
rams.
Yeah.
I would much rather it go that direction than like, hey, I've got a minigun and night vision.
Well, this is good because I had planned on doing another Rust server, but we very quickly had a problem with people just roof camping and just. Yeah. And I was thinking, why don't we just
make it like primal only?
Yeah, I'm taking gunpowder out of the equation. The next server, it's just going to be bows and spears and swords and stuff.
I did some event like that where it was like king battles or something.
Yeah,
and you would like fight. It was like a big streamer event. VoIP didn't work. Really awesome. People would be like, "Hey, Poob, hi," and I'm like, "Okay." Be like, man, I haven't seen you in years. I'm like, they're like, dude, you've changed. What's wrong with you? You used to be funny. I'm like,
yeah.
No. Typing in chat. Hey, it's me. I'm here. It's like, I don't know. As much as the game blows and stuff, it's very impressive what they've done with it, and I'm forever grateful that like it really is the only reason I'm kind of a streamer or am probably on this podcast. So.
Yeah.
It's got a real special spot right here in my heart.
Yeah, it does for me too. I just don't have that dog in me anymore to get on there and oh my God. Sorry, honey. I know I'm feeding the kids, but I got to go defend my base. I'm getting
Like,
offline.
it sucks time more than anything.
It's a full-time job.
My friend was saying this the other day where I'm like, dude, it's like, doesn't take any more time than like League of Legends used to. And they're like, yeah, but you can play one League of Legends. And if you have the willpower, just get off. Like this game, you're constantly like, well, what if these people come raid us? What if like we have to upkeep our base? We have to make sure the furnaces are cleared. It's like, I've never played anything where just 5 hours will fucking fly by so quickly. And it's like when I'm done with it, I'm disgusted by myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm stinky. I've been playing it so much my back hurts. I'm like,
What do you mean your back hurts? Are you hunching? You doing the...
I'm hunching the whole time because I'm like just in my underwear sitting. I'll wake up and load on. And then I'm like, bad in my head where I'm like, what is your job? Your job is to play a video game. And it's like, I'm so addicted to it, I don't even want to stream it. Because I'm like, that's going to distract me. I'm going to have to talk to chat. Like, I need to be fucking dialed in. And it's like, I have the easiest job in the world, and this game's making it where it's like, that's just free content. Just play the game and fucking stream it. But it's like, I think, at least to me, like, the funniest parts of Rust are the VoIP. So until I can get that fixed, like, I don't even think, it's not even funny to watch me play it. And it's like, people don't watch me because I'm good at games, you know. It's like,
you're not fake.
I make a cool play.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like a faker sometimes. Yeah, I struggle with that. Feeling like a faker syndrome.
Yeah.
Am I a god gamer? No.
You know, on Reforger, you were talking earlier about like Frankie on PC really demonstrates that your experience may vary. There's been moments where I'm sitting there just like walking. Like if you have like full gear on, you're 60 pounds heavier than you should be, so your guy moves really slow.
Sounds relatable.
If your car gets fucked up or what, sometimes you just have to walk for like 15 minutes to the objective. And sometimes you get there and just get your fucking head blown off before you even do anything. So you'll sometimes have like 40 minutes where nothing is happening except for you just sitting there like walking. And I hadn't really fully utilized there's like a radio that you can use. I just hear people like going like, hot dog 49, can you do a 9 line over here at this fob? And I'm just like, will you shut the fuck up? So I just like change frequencies and stuff. One time I'm just walking next to a guy and he just pulls out the radio. He sees like a helicopter go by, and I don't know how he checked to see who was in the helicopter, but he just pulls out the radio and goes like, hey dude, can you go ahead and soften up this target before we get in? And the guy's like, and I never even thought like, just ask the guy to do it. I was like, he's not going to do that. And you're just giving the guy permission to be a hero. That's all you're doing. The guy goes immediately. He's like, oh, fuck yeah. You want me to shoot some missiles? I'm doing it. I can see him he turned around, go back, laid down hellfire on this place before we walked in. So awesome. So awesome. Yeah. I didn't know you could even bark orders. Not even bark orders, but just request. Like, you know?
Yeah.
You see a helicopter guy, just figure out what channel he's on through the map, and then you can be like, hey dude, I see you up there. Go back and fuck these people up, and they'll do it. It's pretty badass.
Good morning, USA.
Yeah.
Do you think we could ever do a podcast where we're in two different semi trucks talking through the
CB radio?
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
Can you rent like a semi truck? I know we couldn't legally drive them probably, but we could sit in a lot like right next to each other.
Yeah. I don't know.
Guys, if you're out there and you are if you own two semis, which would be like $800,000 of semi or something, maybe millions. I have no idea how much a semi costs. Probably a shit ton.
Or we could just go knocking.
Two of those.
We go to the Flying J and we start knocking on. They'll think we're lot lizards. I'll be like, look, I'm not here to fuck you.
Dude, the culture at Buc-ee's is very kind. We could go to a Buc-ee's and be like, listen, we just need 2 hours and two of your semis.
Yeah.
We're not going to do anything weird.
We're just going to be talking to each other on the CB, and there's going to be other truckers that are trying to do their job screaming at us. Get off this frequency.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. Where are you? You're at Buc-ee's. I'm coming. Oh, fuck.
Why do you guys fucking hate Haley Joel Osment so much? I fucking love Haley Joel. I'm coming to kill you. That guy's a fucking hero.
Yeah.
6 cents rules.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I go get a drink?
He should be our hero, dude.
yeah, my
Guys
throat
with
is
fat
so
heads, he should be our fucking hero.
God.
Because he's like,
It's like,
he's got the fattest head.
Okay. Yeah.
well, it's like, it's even, I think there's something, about seeing a man that's just better than you with the same tools of like Haley Joel Osment. He's got a big ass head.
Yeah.
And he's just far more successful. And it's like, I don't know. I remember after the access area thing, Z-Chum texts me. I can actually probably find the string of texts because I sent him his video and was like, oh my God, like I might be like the devil. Like we've made this man sad. And he sent me a string of texts that while I was high was probably the worst thing to ever read. Where he said, I'm watching his video. You're a monster. You should feel bad. You should feel horrible. Holy shit, I'm watching his video. And then he said, man, this guy is like the Ghost of Christmas future version of you. You were shown by God your future and you spit on it. And then I like really looked at his thing. I'm like, this guy's literally exactly what I will probably become.
Yeah.
And like, we have a lot of the same figurines and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he is literally like he should be my literal hero.
Yeah.
And it's like, here I am spitting vile. And it's like, what is wrong with me? This guy's got my dream setup right now. He's doing basically what I do, but better and more consistently. And it's like, maybe he is the ghost of future Christmas.
Hey, dude, I said it during the video, man. I'm still a fan.
No, I mean,
I'm a huge fan.
Even in the video, I'm like, this guy is my grandpa. This guy could be my grandpa. No, they didn't show that clip. They showed pretty much just the most vile parts.
By the way,
Thanks,
guys,
Salmon.
I forgot to mention that we thought that the patron exclusives were a little bit more secret than they turned out to be. Okay, there's people out there. This guy, what was that guy's name? The something Salmon.
SK Salmon. I actually think he does like a really good job of like
highlighting the
we
things
should be,
that,
but not that one.
That one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that honestly is just
he did like a hypercut of us being an asshole, and then he like added the guy in the title. He was like at access area. Fuck you, Salmon. Okay. Jeez.
Yeah. Think.
Yeah.
That's not on us.
Yeah. No, that's on you. You made us look bad. We looked awesome.
You showed exactly what we said to a man. We are the good guy. Yeah. We deserve a break. That was last year.
Yeah, that was
shit.
That was the old me.
That I'm not like that anymore. Speaking of like people that should be your hero.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a weird segue and like a weird question I'm about to ask, but like, do you ever meet someone that you like initially want, maybe it was at a TwitchCon, maybe it was, an event. It's like a person that you want to dislike and then they actually end up being like the coolest person ever. And it kind of pisses you off in like a way where, I don't know, maybe I'm just so spiteful and evil, but it's like, I wanted to not like you and you're a goddamn just like a class act.
I've had the opposite where I've thought that it would be really
that's
cool.
more common.
And then you
it's like, don't meet your heroes, But it's like, I've got a new one where it's like, don't meet your villains.
Yeah.
Because they might actually be a hero.
They might actually be awesome.
I obviously have a very specific thing that this is going into, but I didn't know if somehow I could bring you into it if you had an example. But I went to a Colts game like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
After the Colts game, we go to a Colts themed bar. And I'm there with my friends. They brought us to the game, very generous. And they're like, our friends are coming to meet us here. Listen, I guess when I say like I wanted to dislike this guy, it wasn't before I met him. It was something he did directly when I met him. And then in my head, I built up like, this guy's an asshole. They were talking about like our friends coming. And my girlfriend's like, this guy's like the coolest guy ever. Like he is so nice, so awesome, so handsome. I'm like, okay, why don't you marry him? Right before he gets there, my friend is jokingly asking me like, hey, do you want to arm wrestle at the bar? Because I don't know even how you remembered, but I think like months ago I was like, it's so douchey when people just like do like feats of strength in public, like do push-ups at a bar. Like I don't think that's like a common thing, but you know what I mean? You're like in school, there'd be people that'd just be like, watch how many push-ups I can do.
Yeah.
And maybe that comes from an insecurity of like, that guy's doing a lot more push-ups than me.
Yeah.
But he's like, ironically being like, do you want to arm wrestle? And I'm like, no, I don't want to arm wrestle at a bar because we're like sitting directly across from each other. Also, is there a fear in my head that he'll beat me? Sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like a much smaller
you
man,
never
but
met this
that
guy?
fears. This is my friend at first.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he's like joking about it. He's like, I remember you said you like think that's so stupid. The guy that I've been hearing all about walks in while we're doing this, and he's like, oh, are you guys arm wrestling? And I'm like, no, it's like a joke thing, trying to explain it. And he's like, oh, you're Sam, right? Like, I've heard great things about you. Like, let's arm wrestle. I'm like, come on, man. Like, not in front of my girlfriend, not in front of all these people I like barely know, and like my close friends. Like, and we're all bundled up. I can't get a good look at the body on this man. And he's like, come on, let's arm. It'll be fun. I'm like, God damn it. I don't have the balls to just be like, no, I don't want to. So I do it. And listen, I'm not going to say he hadn't, I don't know if this is true, but I was sitting and he was standing. He's getting to activate more body. So I think really he cheated, which in my head, I'm also putting in my, my internal grudge log of like, this guy might be a shark at arm wrestling. He's picked an advantageous spot. He's already checked to make sure I'm not holding on to the table. And then
Wait,
he's like,
he
all right,
checked
let's
you
go.
to make sure you weren't holding on to the table?
He knows.
Oh, he knows.
This guy knows.
Did he snake his leg or his foot around the leg of the table and like?
I couldn't see.
He
He probably was fully activating his core and legs.
Yeah.
And then we start doing it, and I'm like, I'm like, I'm not gonna go full out at a bar. I'm trying pretty goddamn hard. Like, I'm pretty like. And we're like at a standstill, and he's like, you're messing with me, aren't you? And I'm like, come on, like, don't say that, man. And he's like, I can tell, like, you're holding back. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And he's like, oh, okay. Boom, crushes my hand down. And it's like, yeah, woo. And everyone's like, yeah, good job. I'm like the most defeated man in America in that moment. Yeah. And nobody's saying like, put up a good fight. Everyone's just like, wow, he's so strong. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, holy fuck. The bar itself has like a feat of strength that you can go do and like go against random other people at the bar where it's like a pull-up challenge. And then he's like, I'm going to go do that. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I hope this guy loses. After what he just did to me, I hope this guy loses. Destroys his opponent. Absolutely. He's now 2 for 2 in like 5 minutes of meeting him. And then I'm just sitting there like a bitter child. Like, fuck, like this guy, he's standing and I'm sitting. Like, that's not fair. It's not fair. And like in my head, I'm like, who does that? What kind of asshole comes up to me, arm wrestle, destroys me, makes the comment of like, you're not even trying. And then when I'm like, yeah, I am, he's like, boom. In my head, I'm like, this guy might be like, the worst man I've ever met. And then like 5 minutes later, I'm still just like, on the outside, I'm like, yeah, this is fun. In my head, I'm like, stupid bastard. Like, come in here, beat me in front of my friends. He's like, hey, like my boyfriend told me about your work. Like, that's really cool, man. I'm like, thanks. He's like, have you been playing Marvel Rivals? I'm like, oh yeah, I have. And we just start chatting for like 30
Nothing
minutes.
Gets a nerd out of his slump, like bringing up Marvel. Oh, I love Marvel.
And the more I talk to him, I'm like, God damn it. Like, this guy is so fucking nice. Mm-hmm. Asking like genuine, like meaningful questions about my life. Like, our banter is incredible. By the end of it, I'm like, I want this guy to be like my best friend. Like, I want him in my friend group. I see him at a New Year's party. He's in a tank top. He goes back down a peg in my mind. Dude shredded. Why would he do that to me? Why would he see me at this bar? And like, he clearly works out all the time and arm wrestle me in front of my girlfriend, destroy me.
And he knew you before he had been told who you were. So he's like, I'm gonna
of me.
I'm gonna fucking dunk on the Twitch streamer.
Yeah.
that
Well, then
plays
he was
Marvel
like,
Rivals. I bet you I can whoop his
actually
ass.
stream some. I'm like, this guy's probably a better streamer than me too. He's probably better at everything. He's got like a really cool career currently, like streams on the side. And at the New Year's party, I'm like, this guy's jacked. What an asshole. Like, he is a shark about arm wrestling. Then it's like he can read my mind. He comes over and it's like, Sam, so good to see you. Like, just destroys my grudge again immediately. He's like, who have you been playing? What kind of games? Boom, he pulls me right out of my shell again. Just like the easiest person to talk. $1 million smile, ripped to the core. He's way more handsome than me, probably smarter. I'd assume, you know, he was a higher rank in Marvel Rivals, probably better at video games. It's like every part of like the nasty little man inside of me wanted to be like, I hate you. And then it's just like he grew my heart 5 times. Because then at the end of it, I'm like telling people like, that guy's awesome. Like, everyone should meet this guy. He's, you know, he really beat me off kindness wise. He used his heart and he's just a genuinely good guy, I think. And it's like, I don't know. It just made me think like, it was the New Year's Eve party. Like, next year, I'm not going to be so small in here. I'm going to be a lot better of a person. Didn't last super long.
Yeah.
I forgot about that when I started talking about Haley again.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like, you can win a lot more. What is it? You can win over a lot more flies with honey or something.
Yeah. I honestly, I'm going to disagree. I hate it when I meet someone that is very obviously a better human than you. And then I just go, fuck.
Well, it's a low bar, and it's like, God damn.
Yeah. I start, you know, hoping they'll fall down a staircase or something. But to open up,
Well, that's like
meeting someone with
like,
a arm wrestling, that's insane. That's insane.
it's like an icebreaker of physical strength.
Yeah.
And in a way, though, it did motivate me. Like, wow, I really should start working out. And then like a year from now, I'm going to see him and be like, wouldn't it be silly if we arm wrestled? I've only been working out my right arm for a fucking year.
Yeah, anchor arms.
Yeah. Got my Popeye arms. Like, hey man, I think it'd be. Remember that one time I don't even really remember it. But remember that one time we arm wrestled? Wouldn't it be funny if we just did a rematch? All right, sit your ass in a chair. No holding the table. I want to see those feet not wrapped around the table legs. I couldn't see them last time. And then he'd still destroy me because he's been working out for like 5 years. Yeah. And then he'd be like, and then he'd probably talk me through it. You know, he'd probably support me after the loss. I don't know. It just made me feel really pathetic. Like, not in terms of like my physical strength, but like, what kind of person am I?
Yeah.
To be like disappointed that this man is so nice to me. What is that? What kind of rot?
It's because you don't see yourself capable of that kind of kindness.
But I do sometimes. You know, it's like, is this, you know, am I in any position to say I see myself as a good person after our last video? No, I have nothing to stand on. But it's
what
like,
does that even mean?
It's like, I'll hold a door open for an old lady. How many points does that get me?
Yeah.
That's got to mean something. And then if there's a guy like 5 feet behind her that's clearly her husband struggling, I'll close it because I'm not going to hold it all day. You know, I'm not there to be the door guy.
Yeah.
But I'll get the first one in. And it's, you know, it's like, sometimes you just meet someone where it's like, I don't know. It feels like their kindness just comes off easier or something.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm so used to my friend group. Like we said last video, like our words, it's like we love to tear each other down because it's funny. What if I started lifting them up? You know, it's a lot harder, but find a funny way to do that.
It seems so fucking
I've really been
disingenuous and saccharine, I feel like. I don't like receiving compliments. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. You might actually, I mean, I would have thought this before today, but you might have a little more rot and a little more vile than you. Because I'm totally fine dishing out and receiving compliments.
No, I feel like I didn't earn that. Like, you're a bad. Like, actually, honestly, if you give me compliments, I feel like you're a bad judge of stuff. After that,
you know what? Okay,
you know what I mean?
I was about to say, like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Yesterday, I like swiped up on a guy's story that I like used to talk to years ago and was just like, hey man, I hope you're doing well. Like, I know it's hard to keep up. Like, would love to catch up one day. And he's like, of course, man, you're like one of the nicest people I've ever had the pleasure to meet. And I was like, really?
Yeah, you haven't met that many. There's no way.
You've only met me in person, clearly. We've never played a video game together. I can tell because the way you talk about me.
Yeah.
When it's like my best friends would not say that.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like my family would. But they're your family. They've got to. Maybe that's why I'm scared of my family seeing the podcast. It's like,
oh, because then they'll know the difference between.
Especially after our last uploaded video is just a public apology to a terminally ill man. Like, I was this close to start giving it out to my family. Now it's grown. Got to wait another year. Got to have some more catalog.
Hey, dude, I told Abby's grandma. I came upstairs like, whew, rough day at the office. She was like, for you, like, what does that mean? Like, she's just like,
oh, the video games are hard.
yeah. She's like, what does that even mean for you? And I was like, well, we were ripping on a guy. It turns out he's like terminally ill or whatever. And she just said, I bet you feel about this big right now. And I was like, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah. I just feel like I'm.
Thanks, lady. Yeah, I do.
I was like, you kind of hit the nail on the head. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. But we'll get him next time.
Like
we'll be
calico
all right.
critter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get him next time. Next time we'll be. This is gonna happen again in like 2 months. I guarantee.
For sure.
It's
that's what made me so like when it happened. I was like, oh shit, because I knew that was just the tip of the iceberg. Like that is not at all. I think there's people out there that have more reason to be justifiably angry than that guy.
Yeah. No, it's like you can never. I think it was the first time we were confronted with like, hey, here's a genuine, this is a real life ass person that has watched this. And it's like, it was like the video itself. I've like never been more nervous in my life to click on a video. When I woke up and saw that, and it was like calling out, naming, shaming YouTubers. I texted that screenshot. I'm like, I've got a feeling I know this is about.
Yeah.
And then I clicked on it, and he's just like here's. I'm like, oh my god, like holy fuck. Like, wow, he really did see it. And then it's like watching the clip. It's like, oh, it don't sound too good coming out. Yeah, it's like actually like probably a lesson you're supposed to learn when you're like 2 years old. But I'm like, Jesus Christ,
this
like
makes
good
us
reminder.
Regress. We regress in sophistication and social nuance.
When I hit stop recording, I pull out an encyclopedia. And I go, interesting. And then I like go do charity and I play Rust.
Yeah.
I play Rust that's the only marker I think I've felt of like, I think I've self-improved in my virtual life in that when I used to play Rust, I was like the most nasty, vile man ever. And then I got raided by one of those people yesterday and I just shook my head in shame. Like, this is probably exactly, he was just the most obnoxious, like 15-year-old raiding us. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, this is probably exactly how I was. And it's like, okay, I feel a little better about myself now that I'm like, I'm marginally more of an adult than this child.
Yeah.
I've got 11 years on this kid, and I'm this much better than him.
Yeah.
That means I'm making progress, and by the time I'm 45, I'll be that of like a 26-year-old.
You know, on that Arma reforger thing, there's not a lot of young people on there. It's mostly like older dudes. But
that does not surprise me.
They're still like super racist and saying like if you're just hanging out in the main base, I wouldn't stream it. I was gonna stream it, and then I was like, nah. Like,
wow.
Yeah, just like hanging out by the arsenal, like putting on gear. I'm just hearing a lot of N-word, a lot of what's that called? Like, what is it? What
bigotry?
Yes,
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of like words for the slurs, and And yeah, it's like a wake up call, you know.
Yeah,
Well, I'm torn
European-
half and half. Half of me goes, guys, come on, we're adults now. You guys are obviously from your voices. You should be beyond this. Then the other half of me goes like, are we kind of fucking back a little bit? Are we back in Call of Duty days? And then I go, no. We've left that behind.
I think probably for the best.
Yeah, probably.
Like
for the
I went
best.
into a European Rust server, the all chat. Jesus Christ! Not even a slimmer of me was like, "We're so back." This is like old school Rust. I was just like, "Holy hell, this is insane!" Like the way people talk to each other on there. I'm like, "Yowza!" And it's like, I think Rust is like call it you will. I mean, maybe a bastion of free speech. It didn't really seem like any of them were getting in trouble for like some of the most just like detailed, aggressively.
Yeah. I love going on European servers because there's so much like hatred between nationalities in there. And it's funny, like the people, like if you if you pipe up and you're French, it's over on a European server. Yeah. They will destroy you. Or there was a guy that was fucking Albanian. I didn't realize Albanians have a lot of get a lot of flack from other Europeans. But the second this guy came out as Albanian,
there's something to
everybody descended down on them.
I think them and Serbians, you can't put them in the same room. And then it's like, if you're a Serbian, you're this whole other list of attackers. Yeah. It's very, I almost need like a flowchart. Yeah. Like, where's the safest place to say I'm from in chat so I don't get called like 18 different slurs?
I've heard that if you're traveling internationally and you're from America, you should have a Canadian patch or a sticker or something. Because it's a lot safer to claim you're Canadian than it is to claim you're from America.
Not for long.
Yeah. yeah. It's going to be our 51st state.
And then Greenland will be 52.
Yep. Yeah.
I could see the general globe liking Canada more.
Yeah, I can understand.
I don't understand why, but
have you heard that we're also going to have the Gulf of America? It's going to be renamed from the Gulf of Mexico.
That'll probably keep you from moving.
Yeah, that's
now that you're right by the Gulf of America.
That's the Gulf of America.
That's pretty badass.
That swells me with pride. Yeah. Well, I was running because I was so scared. Mexico was right on our shores, But then now that's Gulf of America.
I just looked at a map and saw what it was called, and I was horrified. I'm pretty
They're
sure
how
Bush
close
was
to
president, it wasn't called Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
During the Gulf War. Is that what the Gulf War is about?
I think so, yeah. They're finally going to
I don't know if it's just because it's what I'm used to, but I feel like Gulf of America doesn't flow as well.
No, it doesn't.
Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
Gulf, you want to go with an M.
Yeah.
So maybe if they just went, I would prefer Gulf of America.
Oh, yeah, like apostrophe, America. Yeah, Gulf of America.
Gulf of America, I would actually prefer to either.
Yeah, that would work. I think so.
Or just the Gulf.
Yeah.
The big Gulf.
Why do you think they want to invade Canada? Because that would mean we would have to take in all the like people from Quebec, like the French Canadians. And I don't see them meshing. I don't see them meshing,
I don't know.
Probably a lot of oil up there in northern Canada.
I think it has something to do with the map looking better.
It would look really fucking beast for there to just be.
It would be pretty beast. I think they should make it like 15 different states. That way it's like we have even more than just 51.
Yeah.
But also Canada's big as fuck. Like,
well, I think we would cut it up. And our flag is going to get real crowded, though, with all the stars. They would have to add all the extra stars on there.
Does it burn when you pee?
In my perfect world, it would be the Star Spangled Banner, and instead of the stars, there'd just be a white infinity sign. And we don't at all.
The world. It's just the world up there.
I want Earth to be synonymous with America.
Yeah.
I definitely do have like American brain, because I've been reading this sci-fi book and they keep talking about like old Earth. They don't live on Earth anymore. And in my head, every time they're like, we're going to Earth, I'm like, they're going to America. And then they're like, we're in what used to be Asia. I'm like, oh yeah.
There's other places. Yeah.
What?
That's how
I was not going to Indiana.
I was watching that movie Soul, and like the whole thing is, the jazz musician teacher teaching the soul how to that it like giving it a purpose
It's been
so
a
it
long
can
time
be
since I've
born
seen that.
and everything. And he works so hard, and like I think the soul ends up living in his body for a while, and like experiencing being in New York City and playing piano or whatever, doing whatever he was doing. And he gave, at the end of it, he gave that little soul purpose, and then it ends up going down to Earth to be born as a baby. And I'm sitting there like, oh, I wonder where it's going to be born. And it goes like straight into China. And I was like, oh, it's like a little Chinese baby. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
What the
I guess
hell?
that makes sense. They have really high birth rates over there, but that'd be funny if it just went to like Democratic Congo or whatever, like just straight and like that baby's dead.
Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, the baby's dead in like two minutes flat. But I'm sure it lived to a ripe old age.
Public apology to
The Congo.
The Congo.
Yeah, the Congo. Yeah, you guys actually rock, and you don't have any human rights abuses. You guys are cool.
what 53rd state? It would, being Canadian and having your whole country turned into a state would be
Horrifying.
I wonder how that would feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Brian, welcome aboard, buddy. You can come back on the podcast now that you're American. Now that you're from real Earth, you are welcome.
Yeah.
You are welcome.
Now that you're not a side character in our sitcom, you're part of the
Yeah.
main cast.
I wonder how that astronaut son feels about it. He was like, American imperialism is horrifying.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the club, buddy. You're on our team now, okay? Where are you going to go? Your little island, your little commune? That's part of America now, too. Okay, so.
Yeah, you lived on like a little island that was like right there on the border, didn't he? It was like the river was the border, and he was like on an island in the middle of it.
First thing we're going to do is sack every Tim Hortons and turn it into something cooler, like a Buc-ee's.
Starbucks.
Or Starbucks. I mean, I think they have those.
Do they?
Yeah.
Nah, who
It's like
fucking
the-
knows?
Right?
You know what the
Doesn't
most like
ever-
overhyped thing in the world is Europeans always talk about their Aldis. They love Aldi. And we finally got an Aldi's here. And I was like, Abby, let's go to Aldi's, check it out. That place fucking reeks, dude. That place sucks. It's just
I
like
have a great Aldi joke.
it's like a shitty version of Costco. It's like a tiny Costco.
I think it serves a good purpose in that it's very cheap and very like
So
specific.
is Costco.
Well, I don't know. I've never been into a Costco.
What?
I'm not a Costco guy.
Not? Have you seen the video of the
I'm not a
Costco guys
member.
going like, "Hey, sorry to hear your friend died. 5 booms for him." Boom.
Yeah. Boom, boom.
Oh, we're so sorry to hear about your brother that passed away. He gets 5 big booms. Boom! 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 Boom!
No change in tone or anything. Boom, boom.
They should at least do it like boom, 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 who? Yeah, that video is, I couldn't tell if that was real or not. I saw that in passing the other day.
I saw that at like
Just
1 in the
sorry your brother
morning.
died.
And
Boom, boom, boom.
and
My
that
brother
shit
dies
brought
and they
me
only give me
to tears.
5 booms.
Yeah.
My brother deserves at least 15 booms. Yeah,
Hey.
that was insane.
Sorry to hear your brother.
Where's
died.
their apology?
Boom.
sorry, your family died of. Boom, boom.
And the little kid's sitting there.
Chocolate cookie. Little kid's sitting there with his big eyelashes. Sorry.
Are those cameos? Is that what they're doing? Are they paying?
Oh.
Like, why
Yeah,
would you
like I
do
said,
that unless
I
you
don't know. Yeah,
had to?
that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be a funny cameo to buy. I wonder if they. I'm surprised they put that out. If that's like,
that's awesome. Yeah.
it is awesome, but it's like they wouldn't mark me as the type of people that'd be like, "This is funny."
No, that's why they were so straight faced while doing it.
They're like,
Wait, we hope
This is-
that probably brought them closure. My 5 booms that I did. Yeah, those guys rock.
even though, yeah. they
How
do.
the fuck
Well,
have you
like I
never
said,
been to a Costco? There has to be one near you.
I think there. Yeah, there is one. I was a Sam's Club kid.
Okay, it's like same thing.
Yeah. I've been in a Sam's Club. You know, you get your big ass portions.
Yep.
Aldi, it's like, I don't know. I went there a lot in college just because it was cheap, and it's like.
Did you have a Trader Joe's nearby? Because it's not cheaper than Trader Joe's.
It's no frills.
Yes,
which I don't necessarily enjoy, but it's like you're gonna get a lot of weird brands that are. I don't know. It's like. It feels cheap. You put your quarter in your shopping cart, you bring it back, you get your quarter back.
I feel like I'm shopping
cool.
in Soviet Russia. It was not a good experience for me.
There's no double chunk chocolate cookies or chicken bakes.
I'm used to walking into my grocery store and they have a 70-inch TV, $250 right there.
I was
next
just
to
about
a golf
to say,
set.
Where's the sound system?
Yeah, and then there's people going, "Hey, you want to buy this Rolex? It's a Costco Rolex." You know, Costco is bullion now. Did you know that gold bullion? You can buy just gold from Costco.
I don't.
And it's at market price.
I've never heard that word you just said before, but no, I didn't know.
Yeah, you can buy gold bars from them. And they've moved a shitload of it too. Costco, it's like the best store in the world.
Well, okay, Costco kid. I believe you. I just
boom,
no one of my family's ever had a Costco card, so it's like I'm not going to just go to one for the first time like some asshole. And when
I don't even have a Costco card. We use Abby's grandma's. We're like, can you go to Costco with us? And we just piggyback off of her. The same way I piggyback off of your Hulu account that you left logged into my TV.
I'm going to change the names on those. Binky, Weehoo. I'll go to a Costco before next podcast and I'll see how it is.
It's good, dude.
Do they have big playground sets?
I'm sure, yeah, if there's one on sale there or whatever.
I got my first laptop from a Sam's Club and the guy there fucked me.
Yeah, they'll do that. I wouldn't buy electronics or anything there.
The guy, I remember being like a little kid. My mom's like, all right, you can go to summer camp this year, with your friends, or you can get this laptop. And I'm like, laptop. Okay, easy. Yeah. I want to play some video games. And I asked the guy, like, can this play games? He's like, I can play any game.
Yeah, I get a commission if you buy it. Yeah, of course it plays games.
I'm like, and at the time I didn't know enough about, I didn't know what Arma 2 was.
Yeah.
I didn't have a Steam. I was like, can this play Age of Empires 2? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, can it play Diablo 2? And he's like, probably.
Of course.
I'm like, sold. Those are the only games, right? Like, that's where gaming's at. No, I instantly got Steam. Arma 2 blew up my laptop. The thing would like burn the bottoms of my legs.
Yeah.
It was very cool to have. I had to buy one of those fans you put in between your lap and the laptop. I still have that thing somewhere.
On the Minecraft server, it was hell to run it because God, I wish I had like the put in the overhead aerial view of the server right now. Like the server got completely overran. Like people just built everywhere, and there was people complaining. There was one guy that I heard just going like, dude, when the server first came out, I was fine. I could run it, but now everybody's built so much shit that it's like burning up my laptop and my
legs.
Yeah, and I don't have any frames or anything. And there was like 3 people sitting around the guy going like, okay, what you need to do, I had the same problem for a while. Before you play Minecraft, get an ice pack and put it in the freezer. And then you put the ice pack.
Freezing rod. Yeah. Put that up your ass.
Okay. You set your laptop on top of an ice pack that has like a rag on it. And then also if you have a fan or whatever, do that too. But the ice pack will buy you an hour of good gaming before it heats up real bad and then you start lose frames.
I'm like a little worried that I'm going to have like fertility issues because of how often I just had that thing burning up on my balls and penis. Yeah. And like, I can't grow leg hair where it used to sit. I'm like a little worried that I might never be able to have children because of this Sam's Club basically employee.
Yeah.
That didn't warn me.
Yeah.
It was also like a 17-inch laptop, which for the time is fucking massive and it's this thick. Yeah. And that thing would get hot. It would get real hot.
Shit. I forgot about our first actual controversy. And it was, remember when we were talking about how great of a father Bizzle would be? We were talking about like making sure we got his girlfriend pregnant. And then someone posted like that. They just talked about that clip on like
the,
the
like,
no kids subreddit.
No kids.
Never kids or whatever. And they were like, this is disgusting. These guys are talking about getting their friend.
And all the comments are like, they're literally talking about like basically raping their friend or something. And we're like, in the video, we're just like, like he would be such a good dad. We've got to make sure he's a dad. And then it's like, I think the lesson here is that let's just not ever move it out of our community.
Yeah, I think really that's the answer. Yeah.
I think that makes your new patron idea even more important.
I think so. Yeah, we're gonna it's gonna get real locked down soon. Okay, the patron exclusives are gonna be real exclusive, and if someone
you're gonna be emailed a code that changes every hour.
Yep,
you're gonna need to access a drive.
Yeah, you're gonna need to call
link.
me on my Google phone number, and you're gonna have to insert a key fob into your USB at the same time I do it to give you access, and that's how you're gonna get every episode from here on out. And that way I'll know who leaks the information when. Okay, it's going to be real locked down.
Each one of you will get a different video, so we'll know who leaked it. We'll have a different filter on for each different video.
It won't be the same episode. We'll shoot an entirely separate episode. This one goes out to you.
Content.
Boom. Boom.
Here's your 15-minute patron exclusive. Oh yeah, I watch porn. It's harder to watch porn. I played a video game. I watched a movie.
Do not shit on my struggle. Okay, there's like we talked about. Hey, I'm fine with not receiving compliments. I'm fine with being dissed. But when I bring up a struggle, when I bring up a Coomer struggle like that, and then an hour later you act like it's meaningless.
Individual apology number 1.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I shouldn't have.
It's fine. It's okay.
I didn't think about how horny you get.
That's something you need to consider in the future. Okay.
I wasn't thinking about how little sex you have with your wife and how horny you get and your libido.
Yes.
And I know 1,000 times you told me to think about it. You want it in my head all the time. Say, picture us having sex. Now don't. Now that's what it is. Picture my wife on top, hands interlinked, cowgirl style. Now imagine it's just me in my bed alone, jerking off.
With my passport in one hand. Getting denied.
My lotioned hands trying to flip through my passport book. God damn it. It's slipping. We got grease all over my camera. I can't read the picture. This doesn't look like you. Shut up.
My passport's so out of date, dude. The picture of me from there is like 2010 or something. It's like 15 years old.
Yeah, mine looks. I mean, it's just like everyone's like, it's you either got your dolled up passport photo where people go all out, and they look incredible, or you got your dogs like us, where it's like, I just needed a passport very quickly. And I had worn a hat that day. Big mistake. I hadn't given myself time to not have hat hair. And I look really ugly in it.
Well, it's a passport. I mean,
well, it's a picture of me. Yeah. So, of course, I look ugly in it.
But like, who dolls up for a passport photo?
I know a lot of people that, mainly women that are like.
It's not like a driver's license.
Well, they do both. It's like it's almost a flex where it's like, if you look really good in it, like there's something. Also, I don't know how. I mean, because I don't look like I'm under 21, but I don't know how I get allowed into everywhere I do with my current driver's license, where I look absolutely nothing like me. It's me like when I was 16, and my dog is chewed up like a fourth of the ID. And I think somehow it being chewed up lets people be like, no one would bring in a fake ID that's this fucked up.
Yeah.
And if they do the bin test on it, like, it will snap. There's a crack through it.
What's the bin test?
I don't know, bouncers will be like, is this real? And they'll bend it all around and be like, a fake ID will snap. Mine would crack in 5, okay? It would snap in 20.
Fake ID does not, it's made out of the same material as a regular ID.
Listen, dude, I don't know. Bouncers at college bars, they'll do any loop. They used to check people, like they would go in their phone and be like, let me see in your Apple settings what your name is. Let me see your Instagram to see if it matches up. Granted, like a lot of people are using fake IDs there.
Yeah.
But it's, there's a lot of, I know people that have had real IDs where they're like, you're lying. You're lying. This is fake. It's like, what do you do in that situation? A bouncer's got ultimate power, really.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they're power tripping. And they're normally the biggest men you've ever seen in your life. So it's like, you're not going to say anything.
Consider what they pay a bouncer.
I don't know, $200,000 a year.
Yeah, they don't pay him a lot.
How much could a bouncer get paid? 6 figures? I have no idea.
I feel like if you're given that level of power and authority with that little paycheck, yeah, you're gonna abuse it. For sure.
And that little penis. Okay, bouncers, if you're listening, I did not mean that shit.
Yeah.
A bouncer could so easily change like how everyone in my life looks at me.
Yeah.
If they just destroyed me at the entrance to a bar.
Dude, there's probably like a bouncers union, and they have your name. They're gonna print out your face and post it.
Don't just deny him. Give him an atomic wedgie. Say,
Yeah.
I think I see some shit in there.
He says we're called
throw 'em
bouncers
in the
because we
ground.
probably bounce on it, and
Yeah.
so make sure to fucking give this guy a wedgie.
He thinks that we're all poor, stupid idiots with tiny peckers. Show him how big our dick is. Bouncers unite. I'm so glad that our audience is all truckers and not bouncers. Because
Is there a trucker
Truckers
union? I feel like truckers aren't the type of guys that would unionize. I feel like truckers are the type of guys that probably hate other truckers. Like, I don't feel like there's a lot of camaraderie.
No, because what do you mean? That's like what the whole mics, they get their cool code names. They get to talk on the mics.
They go, that asshole's the guy that's wearing out all the lot lizards.
I think it would be
If
like,
it wasn't for him, they'd be all nice.
I think it'd be like an unspoken brotherhood where it's like you pass a guy on the road, you're like
being black.
Sure. I think it would be like, I don't know, like when you see people on a motorcycle drive by each other and they do the little.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like truckers have got like a cool little hand signal or something.
They go, we're the most dangerous guys on the road. And that gives us.
We could literally destroy anyone here. I would, if I was in a truck that big, I'd probably kill like, I don't know, like just a lot of people.
On accident or just on purpose? You would just go out of your way to do it?
I don't know. Like, I would just probably sleep a lot while driving.
Yeah, it'd be
so cozy.
It'd be real tiring, I think.
I'd be so high up, I'd forget I was in a car.
Yeah.
Like, I'd forget I'm in a vehicle.
Yeah.
I'd probably have my laptop on the dash.
Have you seen the beginning of...
Hey, Sam, can you hear
I think
me?
we brought this up a couple episodes ago, but...
we never did that.
Yeah.
That was probably last year.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it was. Yeah, last year I talked about... God, what's the name of that movie? Final Destination, where the log truck, all the logs come off. And
It's when we were talking about the trucker funeral.
Yes.
I think it's one of the funniest bits in a while.
Yeah.
And I rewatched Guardians of the Galaxy the other day, and I could not stop thinking about that when they're shooting off the fireworks and everything. I'm like, this would be a lot cooler if they were truckers.
Just regular truckers, yeah.
They basically already are,
Yeah.
but if they were not in spaceships,
Yeah.
it would be pretty badass.
When you're on the interstate, though,
Sorry.
like it's so infuriating how people sometimes drive. And I feel like if I was in an 18-wheeler, I would be I'd feel like an elephant surrounded by little mice. Like I would honestly
Scared.
kind of wish that I had a button that would just release the logs. I wish there was just a log release button. But instead of
getting that elephant are famously afraid of mice. But
well, I'm afraid that I would kill somebody. But if they're putting themselves in a position to be killed, I feel like you should be able to at least let one log out. just one straight behind.
Or some kindling.
Yeah. Yeah, something.
Just something that would be like, I've got more where that came from.
Don't make me release all of them and do the beginning of that horror movie. I'll just release like a log, just one log.
Are they held liable if like their logs shoot out and kill someone?
They're held liable if they don't do the bare minimum, which is like, my mom used to work in insurance, and there was someone that called in and was like, yeah, I was behind some fucking big gravel truck and a huge fucking rock came out the back and went through my windshield and fucked me up. And My mom looked and they had the little tarp thing over the top. The door was secured. She's like, they did everything that they're supposed to do. Sometimes physics happen and big rocks come out the back and kill people or whatever.
Sometimes a rock shoots through your brain going 80.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, truckers, no offense, guys, but you scare the shit out of me.
You're terrifying. Horrifying.
Because it's like, it almost feels like half the time they're in your lane. They're like swerving over in your lane.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're getting like lot licked or what. Like, I don't know why. But they're all in my shit. And it's like they have the power. I've seen what happens, okay, when a car hits a semi. Yeah. It's not pretty.
No. The semi wins every time.
Every time. I've seen a semi go off the road before right in front of me. And I said, thank you for going that way.
Yeah,
because if you had gone right into the other semi, I'd probably be exploded.
I rented a U-Haul van, and it was a quarter the size of a regular semi. And on the interstate,
how many people you kill?
I didn't kill nobody, but the wind hit me from the side, and I immediately got dragged around. And I was like, dude, imagine if this was 3 times the length. Those semi guys, the reason why they're floating everywhere is because the wind's pushing into them. You know.
They should make them more aerodynamic, where it's like they're shaped like a huge blade. And,
yeah.
And they're 10 stories tall, and they're just like a blade that cuts through the wind.
That would be cool.
And bridges should have little gaps this big
that they can,
because the semi is only this wide. Yeah, they fly through.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish I could rebuild the world.
Yeah, I would probably, my next advancement would be taking all that entire idea and putting it on tracks so that there's no way to drive off the road. Some sort of train system.
I used to be like you until I've started to get stuck behind a train every goddamn time I drive in Indianapolis. And
oh, what, at a crossing? If your train is crossing a road, then you've designed it wrong. Okay,
I'd agree with that. They should be on bridges or in tunnels.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, I would think the train should go under the road, personally. But hey, that's just me, man. That's just me. What am I, a little stupid boy? All right.
It's getting hot in here.
No, don't say that.
It's off.
It's
too hot.
Sorry, Russ just wiped. Hold on.
Are you logging in?
I'm just logging in real quick. Just gonna hop in the queue real quick. Nothing.
Dude,
crazy.
I'm honestly my hands are shaking. I've had gaming withdrawals. I want to get on Reforger again, because that way I can just sit there right in the main base and talk my shit and scare people. But remember those racist guys in the base I was talking about?
Yeah, your best friends.
Yeah, that's just me. It's just me and my friends.
You and a mirror.
Yeah, it's me just screaming at anybody that'll listen. No,
there's 20 of them.
Oh my God. I have a 2 terabyte footage drive. I've filled it up. It's completely filled up. So I have to go to the
Jesus Christ.
I go edit. So
do you have any special plans for your video? That you probably can't reveal yet, but
I have too many things on the stove right now. I got a fishing video I'm working on, and then I still have that meat, the mystery meat, exotic meat video.
Yeah, what the fuck happened?
That guy's just not sending me my meat. Get it? He's meat withholding. And then I still have 16, 17 hours worth of Minecraft server footage because that was a blast, and you can't get rid of that, And then and now I have Arma Reforger. I just got too much. Not enough editing time.
Not enough time in the day.
Yeah. If only I could pause it. I could pause time in work. I told Abby that I was I had worked out in my mind the perfect way of using that and how great it would be. And then you just stopped me in my tracks by saying, wait, you would be given a superpower and you would just work? That's so pathetic. And I was like,
I think it's honestly admirable because it's
that is sad. I'm given just a.
But it also means you love your job.
Well, yeah, I want more time to do it.
That's
you understand how many times that I'm just
lucky.
I just have to get this out and I can't spend as much time as I want on it.
Because if you had seen Click, he's basically exclusively fast forwarding through work, and you would be doing quite literally the opposite because of how much you love your job.
Yeah. I'd be fast forwarding through my parenting.
Fast forwarding through like sex with my wife, fast forwarding through anniversaries, birthdays, just trying to get to work, just trying to get to the basement as quick as possible.
Oh, dude, there was a time in my life where I had a truck. I was a truck guy, and
I did not know that.
Yeah, and well, for those of you that have trucks, you might know that having a truck is like the worst thing.
I just heard your
They're a little
DoorDash.
bigger than cars.
It's the worst thing you can have.
I don't know.
A lot of dudes are like, "Oh, I gotta have a truck because I'm a dude." The second you have one, every
Maybe not.
time there's some dumb shit that needs to be done with the family, guess who they're calling?
You're like the goddamn snowplow
Yeah.
guy. You'd probably just keep your truck in your garage at all
Got
times.
rid of it.
Never tell a soul.
The second people start calling me up and were like, "Hey, can you do this weekend with your truck?" Fuck you. I got rid of it. Got the smallest car money could buy. I got a Civic hatchback. And you know what? I did one step beyond that. I just sold. I don't have a car. I'm carless. I
can't drive you to the airport. I don't even own a car.
I don't even have a car.
Why would you? Wait, you
I
sold
just
your
sold
car?
my car. I was like, I'm not using it. Fuck it. And so I sold my car. I had my aunt call me today and go like, "Hey, can you go pick up some medicine for grandma?" I'm like, I don't even have a car, dude. She's like, "You don't have a car?" Nah, sold it. What? I was like, I can't. Abby's got school and stuff, and the girls are in school. I can't go do that because we only have one car now. And she's completely flabbergasted.
Yeah, I mean, you've hamstrung yourself in a tactical way that's very, I don't know.
It's awesome.
It feels like you're regressing, but
Dude.
I'm like literally, I have to buy a new car soon. I should have bought your Civic.
No, I ended up selling it to a kid that was like, "I need a car big enough to carry my cello." He like plays cello, and I was like, "You should get any other car but mine. It is the tiniest car." Abby somehow salesmaned him into. She's like, "Look, if you lay down the seats, you can put the cello in the back, and the neck goes in between the front seats." And like where you tighten the strings, the head of it's like,
hell, you can fit two cellos in here if you really
the
want.
head of it's sitting on the dashboard. Like it's like a clown car. It's like a big rolling case for the cello, basically, with barely enough room for him. And she was like, "Look, cello fits in here." And he was like, "Okay, yeah, I think this will work." I'm like, that is the worst car in the world for carrying a cello. He can't even put his arm on the center console when the cello's in there. And he's happy as can be. He bought it. Whatever. I don't have to fucking drive around anymore.
I've had like, as I've talked about on here, like just a litany of issues with my car.
You should go carless. You should try it out.
I don't live. I don't have.
You don't have to live if you don't have a car.
I don't have the like framework around my life to not have a car. I guess I could Uber everywhere.
No.
That would be incredibly expensive.
No.
Probably cheaper than buying a new car, actually, though. Now that I think.
Does Happy go out? Do stuff?
Not really.
Oh, okay. You got Amazon, right?
Yeah.
Amazon delivers dry goods. Get some ramen packs from Amazon.
I already don't leave the house enough. If I didn't have a car, then
You got a backyard. What
like,
else do you need? That's outside.
I need like I don't know, like human interaction.
You got Happy right there. You got Discord. What else do you need? Okay, truckers don't even have Discord. They have CB radios and they're socializing.
I guess I could get a radio instead of a car.
Yep.
I could get all the fun parts of a car in my house, a heated seat. I could get a window that opens up. Yep. Nice. Okay, wait, I'm starting to get it. I could just, if I was Zeechum, I could take apart my car and put it around my setup.
Yeah.
But I'm not him.
Yeah.
And I never will be.
No. You know what? I see all the things he does and I go, that's what life could be like with this job without kids. And I'm scared he'll have them because he's in a life right now that's primed for like, he can have a kid, but all like the special builds and all the little gizmos and machines, all that will disappear once he has kids.
And I see him and I say, that's what life could be like for me if I was smarter and had work ethic.
Oh yeah,
And
that
then
too.
I'm afraid that, what if Z-Jump loses?
What if Z-Jump gets early onset dementia?
Yeah. What if he starts at it? I think he would have to probably do about 10,000 whippets and then he could be on my level of intellect. But I don't have kids. I have Pip, which I don't think he has a dog. So,
but he has desire
if
to
I
do
get rid
stuff.
of Pip.
Do you have any desires?
I do have desires. I just don't have very good
Have you ever done one of those goal things where you set up like, here's my long-term goals that I want to do by this time, and then you set up a series of mini goals to get you to that point?
I'm just now, I think, reaching the time of my life where I'm like, probably a little late for this, but I'm like, okay, I'm in a relationship. I already have I bought a bunch of oddities and stuff. That was basically my long-term goals for a lot of my life, was like have museum level oddities.
Okay.
And now I'm like, man, I'd actually like to be a homeowner in like the next year or two.
Some sort of place for my oddities. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like maybe somewhere where I could display them. Maybe I could rent something like a museum.
Jerome Powell's, he's lowering the interest rates in the spring.
Wow. Well, I think my goals aren't super complex currently, and I think they are achievable. I need a car that
you don't need one of those.
Doesn't. Okay. Well, goddamn, these are my goals, not your goals. Okay.
I'm just saying your goal is frivolous. You don't need that. But carry on.
My car keeps telling me like your brake system's failed. Take to dealer. And I've taken to the dealer so many goddamn times. Like, I think it would honestly just be better to just get rid of it.
If you didn't waste your time going to the dealer to get the brake system fixed for the car you don't need, you would have all the time to make Z-Chum level gizmos and gadgets.
Oh, yeah.
I think the car ownership is what's holding you back from being Z-Chum, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. If I just get rid of my car and my dog. Yeah, then I'll like all of a sudden like understand like physical and electrical engineering.
Yeah. It's because you spend so much time behind the windshield. Your brain's gotten all soft.
I drive less than like anyone I know. But if I could cut even that out, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'd be so far ahead of truckers because they're always behind a car. Yeah, be careful who you're insulting here, okay? Because we got about 98% of our audience that spends their life behind the dash.
Yeah. I got no room to fucking talk because I really haven't had to be in a car in a long time, but I used to drive just like 5 minutes, 6 minutes or something every other day to like bring Madeline or Olivia to the to daycare, and I would get so pissed because I was like, this is such a long drive. It was literally a 5-minute drive, and I would get fucking pissed the whole way there. I hated driving. And then
I really enjoy it when I have a good audiobook.
Oh, I never even thought about that. I would just listen to music. I've been on a big Moby kick. I've been listening to a lot of late 90s Moby.
Well, you should be on a Moby Dick Audible, okay?
Have you guys watched The Bourne Identity? Okay, that movie fucking rules. And the like credits music at the end.
I bet I can guess who it is.
It's Moby. Extreme Ways by Moby. When those credits kick in, dude, that song fucking rocks. I was sitting there listening to that, and I was like, "Who is this?" Turns out it's Moby. I was like, "Oh shit!" All I know him from is Porcelain, you know. And so now I've been like, well, if he's got Extreme Ways and Porcelain, he has to have more bangers. And it turns out he doesn't. He just has those two songs, but they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
I know him from, I think he might be in a Zoolander movie.
Yeah.
And I thought he was in Master of Disguise, but I don't think.
No, that's Dana Carvey.
Yeah.
Yeah, different.
But I thought it maybe at one point Moby was like,
I'm Dana Carvey for 1 second. Like they just replaced Dana Carvey.
Just like, is he in like one of the Shrek movies? I don't know. Moby's one of those people where it's like, I think he was a lot more relevant when I was like a child.
Yeah.
No one really.
I don't think I could recognize him now. I think if you put him and the Smashing Pumpkins lead singer next to each other, I would be like, I don't know which one's which. That's why I haven't gone bald myself. Keep a little bit of hair up there, and you're somewhat recognizable. But once you go bald, you're just a fucking bald guy. Go join the Blue Man group.
Let's be real too. We're gonna look really weird bald.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm hoping I just never.
There's a lot of
it,
square footage between this hairline and the nape of my neck that I don't want you guys to see how orbular it is.
Kind of imagining it by looking at your head gives me full body chills.
Yeah, it's big. There's a lot going on there.
I would think you'd maybe need to start doing a hair system.
and then we would come into the same problem that we have buying hats. They'd be like, "Sir, we don't make hair systems this big." And so I'd have to get a small one, and then they'd stretch it over the top of my head.
You'd have to start getting like toupees they use for movie gorillas when they're like.
Could I get 2 different colored toupees and stitch them together? Sir, why do you have 2 different places where your hair flips down? Yeah, I'd kind of stitch them together and put them on top of my head.
Just get a toupee of like a really receded hairline. And you wouldn't have to use that much. Like just get a toupee on the back of your head.
Wear a toupee like a yarmulke.
I just want to look good from behind because that's where that's my angle. That's always where I've looked best is from straight behind me.
Yeah, I've never considered that. People that go like, yeah, this is my good side or whatever. I've never even like thought.
It's hard to. Yeah. It's hard for some people to have an angle. Okay. Not everyone gets to have one. Some people are. Yeah,
my angle is when I'm facing 180 degrees from where you're looking at me. My angle is when I open up this umbrella in between me and you're looking at an umbrella.
I remember we were doing that IRL podcast at your house. I was like, you picked an angle for me. I'm like, not my angle. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? But you picked like down, bottom, right, up at me. I'm like, just do it on the back of my head, man. Just put it, like, be a little more generous here with what you're picking for me. I don't know.
I thought it looked good. I thought you know what? Next time I have the setup in mind. I'll let you position your camera how you want.
Top down.
And I'll position my camera how I want.
Force perspective to make my head look smaller.
Okay. Yeah. I'll get one of the
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, though, it's like, I've said this before, but one of the benefits is if we got scouted by an agent, like 99% of Hollywood men have our heads.
Big heads, yeah.
That's why you don't see them in hats often, because they don't make them for them.
Yeah.
And it looks better on camera when you have a bigger head.
Does it?
There's something there. It's I remember in the Sunny in Philadelphia podcast, Mac was saying that like when he went to his first audition, he like didn't get the job, but the guy was like, you have what's it called, like HFH or something. It's like head for Hollywood. And he's like, what does that mean? They're like, you have a big ass head. It's like it's like the nicest way you can. It's like the only. Now, granted, we're not actors, so
yeah.
But it probably makes us look better for the podcast. And that's why when people meet us in real life, they're so shocked and taken aback.
Yeah.
Because it's like a lot of people haven't met a human bobblehead.
You know what's astounding is the DiCaprio like timeline. He went from
his head's getting wider.
Yes. In the 90s, he was like peak twink. And then now he's got just like a meatball head. It's an absolute
twink
meatball.
Death. It's hitting hard.
Dude, Twink Death. His was like a twink assassination. He got absolutely obliterated. And they just left a big fat-headed guy in his place.
They flayed the twink right out of him and put some sort of uggo in his spot.
They put a big meatball right there on top of his shoulders. He can still act real good, but
does your head keep growing or what? What do I have to be worried about?
I think it's because the Hollywood guys are on testosterone, and I think it makes your head more meatballish. Oh, that's why like Rogan's
like
got a meatball thing going on. Yeah, it makes your head all crazy.
A lot of those guys also, like the Rogan types, get that weird protruded gut.
That's from
where it's like
that's from something else.
Like rock hard.
Yeah. That's what's that called? It's like they call it HGH.
Human growth.
Yeah. Human growth hormone gut.
Human growth hormone, yeah.
But all those that's like scary bodybuilder guys, I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about that. I just have to worry about actual gut. I don't think I have to worry about
like,
my six pack doesn't look good because of my HGH.
I have to worry about what happens when you have too little testosterone. Like, am I going to get full on tits that will like produce milk, or like, what am I going to?
You're probably just gonna get your ass kicked in an arm wrestling competition by a stranger, and then falling in love with him after he makes you look like a pussy in front of your girlfriend. That's probably
Yeah, it might have been like Stockholm syndrome.
that's probably like
Some offshoot
that's
of
probably the side effect of low T, I think.
low T, just being a fucking pussy and getting your ass kicked. If I was a real man, I would have said, "Rematch right now. Sit down."
He's still
It's actually not fair. It's not
he
fair.
still would have destroyed you. Yeah.
He could have been laying down fucking horizontal. He would have beat me. That's what really pissed me off is when I finally, because granted, it's like he couldn't see my bod either.
Yeah.
We were both in big winter coats. But then when I saw him at that pajama party and he was shredded, I was like, he could tell by looking at me that I'm not shredded. And he's still, I mean, as much as I talk about it, the worst part is him going, I can tell you're holding back. And I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was maybe holding back 5% because I didn't want to be like, like in public.
When
I was doing a cool face, I was like,
no biggie. No big deal.
In my body, I was going full force.
Like when we were in Vegas, went to an arcade and there was an arm wrestling arcade game. I'm like, it's made for kids. It's fine.
Broke your arm in half.
Dude, no warm up or anything. Like,
huh?
I wasn't going to let a fucking kids game beat my ass. It was definitely, there was a moment where I was like, I might shit my pants trying to beat this fucking arcade machine.
Or 2019,
and then I ended up, I won. And at what cost? Like, the next day, I felt like I tore a ligament in my bicep. I was like, oh, fuck.
Wherever it was.
Yeah, I really fucked up. I should have done some sort of.
What was going through my head was those videos where a guy tries too hard against someone that's better than him and their arm snaps.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I've already lost from the second we gripped.
Yeah.
You know, his grip strength.
You were like, oh, shit.
Was incredible. Yeah. And then I'm thinking, if I try too hard and shit my pants, that's worse. If I try too hard and break my arm in half,
that's worse. Yeah.
These are things where it's like, right now, my girlfriend just doesn't respect me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to totally turn her off of the idea of me as a partner. And that's what would happen if my arm broke in two.
Do you want to, if you do want to totally turn her off,
it would be very
easy. You need to sell your
car just have to be myself.
And be like, honey, can you come pick me up? Like I do. I go upstairs and go, honey, can you go out and get this for me?
I'm close because when we went to that fancy dinner, I did have to have her pick me up because my road was too snowed in. And she's got a cooler car. So it's like, there's not a lot more I'd need to do to push the edge.
Yeah.
Of just like,
when you pick me up, you get in the car and go, wait, hold on. I have to go back in and get my calico critter. I almost forgot.
I forgot something. Hold on. Wait. Go back.
I forgot my calico critter.
Here it is. I can barely lift it. My arm's so sore from that arm wrestle 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Shit.
Oh, I think I snapped a tendon. My arm turned purple. It looked like I had rot going into it. Popped a blood vessel inside of it. Was like, I'm fine. That guy's really not even that strong. It's more his form and the fact that he was standing. I genuinely thought that until I saw him at that party and saw him shirtless. And I was like, well, not shirtless, but he was in like a tank top. I was like, in my spiteful head for a week, I'm like, you put us on even ground. It's going to be a lot better fight. Okay? It's going to be, that arm wrestle's going to be a lot closer if he's not standing there. It wouldn't have made a fucking lick of difference. It was just two titans going at it, and he happened to be a slightly better titan.
Yeah. Or like a titan.
I was more of a demigod.
It was like a titan versus a calico critter, and he fucking destroyed you.
Spirit animal of calico critter. Meow. Ah! And he chose fucking.
Dude, those videos of the guy getting his arm broken arm wrestling. What kills me about that video is the guy that breaks his arm, I don't think realizes that he's broken it. And so once it snaps, he then continues to win the arm wrestle. Like he bends it completely down to the table. I'm like, dude, you broke
You
it.
have to touch your whole arm to the table.
And the guy leaves his like elbow up, and so he just ends up bending like the snapped forearm down to the table. It's so gross. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, and it's embarrassing.
Yeah. But imagine being the guy that broke his arm. He probably feels like a god.
Yeah, I thought you were about to say feels bad, but yeah, feels like a god, definitely. Like you.
No, in the moment, you go, dude, I am so sorry. I really fucked up there. And then you go home and go, honey, I went to a competition to see who could arm wrestle, and I snapped the guy's arm. I completely
start
obliterated
wearing
it.
like fucking boxing gloves because like my whole body's a weapon, and I couldn't try. If I was stronger than bone with just my hand, I would start not.
I would
trusting
modify
myself.
a rifle case, and I would put my arm down in it, and when I would go to, I would unzip my arm from the rifle case in order to arm wrestle.
My wife and I both have a key to unlock this, only in emergencies. And then you take it out after years and it's atrophied completely. That guy wants a rematch and rips your entire arm off.
Anyways,
I
don't you have Rust to play? Aren't you playing right now?
I'm currently.
I figured. Let's end this shit. I got some
I've
Arma
died like 10
reforger
times,
to
and
edit.
There's nothing to do. Sorry guys that we didn't have a ton of topics to talk about, but we haven't done a podcast since last year, so we were just shaking off some rust, just getting back in the flow since last year. So last year was a while ago. So we're I was gonna talk about the next episode.
Nah, not yet. We don't want to spoil the big plans.
Yeah.
Oh, I never mentioned this. Poop got me. This was my Christmas gift. He got me the dude from the Big Lebowski, and he's just been hanging out on my mic arm the whole time, trying to offer me a joint. He's going, "Hey man, you want some of this?
What is this? A joint for ants?
Yeah. Hey man, you want some of this?"
It's movie quality.
It is, dude. And pretty badass, pretty cool. And then he's also gotten me a Big Lebowski frame thing. I think he thinks I love the Big Lebowski. I've actually never seen it. Pretty.
After
pretty good,
I did think about the frame thing. I was like, okay, no more Big Lebowski ever.
Yeah.
Unless I can find you that cardigan.
No, do not buy me this cardigan. It's from Pendleton. They still make it. It's like $280 or something.
Well, I'm just saying that would be the last Big Lebowski thing I'd get you. No more after that, because at a point it becomes like my family where they're like still getting me a Star Wars thing every Christmas. And I'm like, I do like Star Wars, but I'm also a man of many interests.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings, for one. I've been reading the book Red Rising, that series, guys. Go read that book series before next episode. We'll talk about it.
Red Rising. We've been talking about doing a book club for like well over a year. Yeah. We should pick a novel, read it.
Yeah, that would be a novel idea.
Discuss it. Maybe for the patron exclusive, because I feel like mass appeal would be very low for novel talk.
Literacy rates amongst general audience members too would probably be pretty
low. Yeah.
Yeah. So the patrons though are kind of an echelon smarter because they know a good deal.
Yeah, they're bargain.
They know. Yeah. What can I spend this $5 on? My portfolio? No.
Yeah.
What can I buy?
You can't even get a goddamn Happy Meal for $5 anymore. So I think it's a bargain.
Yeah, me too. I think we're gonna increase it because inflation's.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, this was our first episode this year, and it was really special.
Oh damn! I was hoping I could.
Neat. I saw it.
Oh, thanks, little bro.
I saw this one. That was actually really cool. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, he's also got these little a little White Russian.
Yeah. That's sweet.
He came with like 8 different White Russians. When these things hit the ground, they're made out of a certain plastic acrylic that bounces and they go skittering
underneath anything.
Yeah, and I got a concrete floor. This thing dropped right here at my desk, ended up on the other side of the room. I had to crawl around like Velma looking for a little White Russian that's this goddamn big.
We'll warn you too if the figure falls from like desk height. things will break. I've
Hey, this guy's
I have
got
that
so
whole
many
shelf of them.
accoutrements on him that
yeah, no, it's true.
yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, this little joint would never be seen again. The joint's so small.
I have like 5 of them that are broken and are just sitting.
Look how
In a
tiny
way
that
that-
little joint
yeah,
is,
that
dude.
Don't lose
Yeah,
that.
you can't lose that. And by the way, yeah, getting somebody a hot toy that has kids, that was a dangerous idea.
Well, it's not for
yeah,
kids, but
immediately
it's hard for them to
Olivia
know
and
that.
Madeline were like, "Why does he have so many hands? Oh, he can move. He can do anything. He's got a little bowling ball. He's got shoes. His jacket actually
We should
zips
play
up.
with our Barbies.
Yes. The Barbie dream house. He would be perfect for the Barbie dream house." I said, "Don't you ever touch my little man." And so now he has to sit uncomfortably high up on shelves. I'm probably gonna
Just
put
tell
him.
him it's the elf on the shelf.
Yeah, I'm gonna put
If
him.
you touch him, you don't get
I'm gonna
Christmas.
put him up on a shelf, and he's just gonna be sitting like this, chilling. He's gonna have a white.
He's
Where'd
the-
the white Russian go? It's gone. All right. Oh, here it is. It fell out of his
Well,
hand.
that was good while it lasted.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna have his white Russian in his joint. I can't get him bowling and smoking and drinking all at the same time on account of him only have 2 hands, but very cool gift.
Well, that's what all those extra hands are for. You could hot glue one onto his
If I
back or
heavily
something.
modified this figure, would you be upset with me?
You can do whatever you want with it. It's yours.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
Now, if you like just colored in like Sharpie glasses on it,
A little
and like, if
mustache.
there were horrible modifications, I would be a little disappointed, but I wouldn't be able to legally tell you what to do.
Yeah.
Also, you pay my bills, so you can actually do whatever the fuck you can. You can shove it up your ass for all I care.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you're fucking welcome.
Thank you. All right.
And thank you guys for watching this podcast because thanks.
You guys rock.
And yeah, thanks for sticking with us through controversy after controversy after controversy. Just kidding. We're a lot better this year.
Yeah,
So.
we'll be fine. We'll be fine. And for now,
Better production value,
something like that.
better content.
Yeah, something like that. All right, bye.